And we're back, Fuel Up Podcast listeners.
How are ya?
Episode 11, right?
Episode 11.
We got guests again this week. Our good friends that I've known for a while. Giovanni just met. And you got their own podcast going. We're going to introduce them in a little bit. This is just the introduction like we're used to doing, like always. And what else is there on this podcast? That's about it, though. We just have this guest. There's no
Well, this podcast, we're going to start talking about car topics, but also mixing with another topic.
Yeah, we're mostly going to be on their topic, what they're strong at. And then after, we're going to go back to the cars, I guess, just a little bit. But it's mostly around their subject because that's what they do and what they're...
We're going to fuse their podcast with our podcast.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a mixture. You'll see what their podcast is about. We'll explain at the beginning of the episode when we start going. So welcome our guest, All-Time Podcast. Let's do it, episode 11.
Okay, let's go. Hit it.
Guys,
What's up?
everything good?
Fantastic.
We got the All-Time Boys here.
So that's who our guests are this week because we didn't say it in the intro. It's the All-Time Podcast Boys. Well, welcome.
Thanks for
Excited.
having us.
Welcome. So you guys obviously have heard about them, right? We spoke about them on our podcast quite a bit.
A few times.
There's Steve 1 and Steve 2.
Yep.
What's up, Steve 1, Steve 2?
Fantastic. Really excited to be here. Thank
So
you.
introduce
guys.
yourselves, guys, so they know who and what you guys do exactly.
Yeah, so about a year ago now, I think we started a music-based podcast. Basically, the idea came from, the All-Time, the name came from a way that we speak to each other a lot, or how we used to, we still do it.
Yeah, we
but
still
like
do it all the time.
a lot of the things for us are like top five, like what's your
Okay.
top 10 this time? All-time, this year, like always kind of ranking shit, so we went with the All-Time Podcast.
Okay.
It just
Like
seemed obvious.
All-Time graded hits.
Type of thing. All time, like what's the first season, best hip hop albums of all time. That was the theme. So
You came up with the name, actually. Because if it
I
was
was
up
just
to
gonna
me,
ask
what-
that. Yeah. It was mutual, or you came up
I
with that?
suggested it.
Okay.
He liked it. We went with it. We were having tacos.
Like us, I think.
when we,
Yeah, look,
We're having tacos.
the way we
Always
work,
the best time too.
the way we work is Stephen 1 is really the brains behind everything.
Okay.
And I'm just the one who likes to talk and swear and just really...
Shoot
I
the
wouldn't
shit.
say the brains though.
You're
give a lot
definitely
of
the brains.
No, you give a lot of the.
I give a lot of detail on what I know, but like the whole, like the background of this is mostly you. Like, I don't know how to set up a mic or a computer or...
Yeah, his expertise, right?
The behind the scenes.
He has his,
That's
yeah.
him.
I'd say.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm like that.
But when it comes to talking,
I would say I would say me. I would say me. I'm the loud one, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm the loud one. I'm the one who.
It always balances out, right?
Yeah, I'm the angry one.
You have
too.
to. You can't be both the same.
Right, yeah.
That'll never. I don't think it'll ever work.
It's a good balance, I find.
Oh,
We
yeah.
complete
agree,
each
I
other.
agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Pause.
need two different
So-
personalities to
Yes.
make it
Yeah.
work. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
But overall, it's super fun. I think it's a great opportunity that we did this.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And just the love, like the love you guys have for cars and
Yeah.
automobiles
Music
and all
also,
that
same
stuff.
thing.
It's the love you have for what you want to do, what you want to talk about. So for us that always text, message, hang out together and talk about music, finally we can get our voice out. So
That's
I think,
it. I think it became like a bit more of a. We get together, we have a drink, we grab beers.
And shoot the shit.
All we do is talk about this. Like most of
Exactly,
the part,
yeah.
we catch up. Like how's life? We do that
Yeah.
regularly, but this is what we spend most of the conversation on. So we're doing nothing with this, but
Exactly,
sharing
yeah.
it between ourselves. Like put it out there.
Like our relationship is we'll talk every day, but there's not one day that goes by that we do not talk about music, whatever it is.
That's what basically what made us do it too, because we'd say all the time when we'd be together.
Exactly.
Even with our other cousins, our other friends, we'd be talking about cars all the time.
Yeah.
Or even whatever music, whatever the hell it
Yeah, I'll
is.
give you a good example. Like on Saturday, I came back from a flight and everybody came to my house after at night. And like the first half an hour, like, we're just talking about random stuff, like my flight and like just life shit. And all of a sudden, for the next hour and a half,
That's it.
pure
Just
cars.
shift to that. So
Like,
like,
that's
we're like,
really
why are we
good.
not
Yeah.
putting this?
Yo, we're talking about like pure like life not problems, but like situations, things that happen, and then all of a sudden for like next hour, pure cars.
But it's crazy to me when you guys say that, and I think it's amazing because I thought that doing a music podcast would be hard. But now thinking of you guys doing a podcast about cars and all that stuff, that must be hard. It must be like a hard setup to
I
do.
feel it's more like, even like you just said, you thought it would be hard, and then after when you're on it, it's like comes so natural because you love it so much. I think.
But look,
so,
if you think about it, the automotive industry is so huge,
and there's
right?
so much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If we want to
Every
pick on
day.
a subject every day, we can do it, but it's a bit
Every day there's
excessive.
like new, like same thing for music. There's always
Right,
songs coming out.
always.
Yo, there's so
Oh,
many
that
songs
too,
that come out.
too. There's always music coming out. It's so hard to keep
Yeah.
up with all the new,
Well, if I
especially
could-
today.
Yeah,
With all the platforms,
it's
it's-
oh, man.
extremely hard to
Crazy,
keep
it's
up and
crazy.
whatnot. But I gotta compliment you guys off the top because for somebody that knows nothing about cars, like I listen regularly.
Thanks.
I appreciate
So
it.
We appreciate that.
No,
Thank you,
for real,
thank you.
because I think that's something that we're trying to achieve as much as possible with what we're doing. When you're doing a podcast based on music, like you're taking time to listen to something based off music
No.
rather than listening to music.
Yeah.
So if you're not gonna go further and get like, the people that are gonna listen to us have to be somewhat like us.
Yeah.
You have to care to that point that just listening to it isn't enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be a
But
bit of a fucking weirdo.
and the
like-
cool thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But the cool thing is that we're so different, and the same thing for you guys.
Yeah.
That the chemistry, people know who's who. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
got you.
You'll know who knows what and what.
Yeah.
Like for me, for hip hop, I could go off,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then like for us, season 2, he was the one
True. Yeah.
with the rock and
Yeah.
like the alternative and
Yeah,
the
that's-
indie and all
yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
And
He's
yes, I
strong.
know about it. I could talk about it, but you could tell who's who.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best thing about
Yeah,
it is
true.
you know, like you can even which information who's gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True,
like
that
a
too.
like a hip hop recommendation coming from me won't necessarily mean that like okay, it's not credible. But if he's giving it, like sometimes I struggle to give him a new
Okay.
hip hop artist that he's gonna like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the recommendation comes from him, it's probably better than if it's coming from me, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but
Because I mean, I only do so much of it before I decide like, okay, this is how much hip hop I need to be listening to.
Okay.
Cut some stuff
But
out.
he taught me a lot in hip hop too. I'm gonna be
He taught me.
honest.
Steve
Oh,
taught
you
me
do
too
a
a lot
lot.
about some hip hop.
He got me like
He got me to the old school underground, not underground, more like old school, like Wu Tang and shit like that. I find he introduced it to me before Steve.
So
I never.
that's how we bond. That's
I
stuff
never
we
knew these
bonded
guys.
over. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for him, straight up, I would probably still be listening to only underground hip hop because
Oh,
he
yeah.
got me out of that shell of
Okay. It's true.
Only-
You were only underground. Okay.
I was only listening to underground hip hop. I couldn't care less about like the Kanye Wests. Like
Yeah.
I knew them, I listened to them, but like I didn't go beyond. You know what I mean?
But now
you
that
gotta
you
appreciate
listen,
both. I feel.
Now
Sorry,
that you
cut
listen
off.
to both of them, which one do you like better? Because you obviously you kind of tend to stay more on the underground side, right? No,
Doesn't.
you prefer more the. I'm not gonna say mainstream, but I'll say like more of the
Dumb down.
pop.
kind
say,
of
yeah.
the mainstream, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
or
mainstream, 100%.
to me, it's my mood.
okay,
To me, it's my
Same
mood.
thing.
For the way I pick my hip hop music in the day, it depends the mood I'm in. Number one. Number two, I'm always trying to find new artists, which
Yeah,
is,
for
which,
sure.
is, which is big for me too. But like for the last month, I've been on the same style, like just hardcore bars, lyrics, aggressiveness. That's all, that. Like for the last month, that's all I've been on.
Okay.
Next month, it could change. It could be just like from the year 2000 to 2005, or like I go through phases with stuff.
I got you.
Do I have a favorite? It's hard to say. If I give you like my top 5 hip hop artists, most of them are known hip hop
Yeah,
artists. They're
yeah,
mainstream.
exactly.
You know, like the Andre 3000, the Kendrick Lamars. You know what I
Dr.
mean?
Dre's 50 Cent, so shit like that.
Like those will all be artists I love to listen to. I was listening to 50 Cent the other day.
Yeah.
The Get Rich or Die Trying album.
Yo, the
So-
album's
That
insane,
album
right?
is just one of the best albums.
Yo, fire album
ever, like-
Insane.
So like,
love
but
that
that's a
album.
mainstream album. So it
Yeah.
always depends what I'm into.
That
But
album
I
is-
love lyrics.
I love and that too. Exactly.
I love lyrics. Like
Well, actually, you guys introduced me to that artist. I never heard. I heard of him as in production, Jay Dilla.
Yeah.
yes,
I've heard of him production wise, but I didn't know that he made albums by himself. This and that. And I forgot this. I think Donuts.
The donuts. Yeah.
Donuts?
Yeah. Donuts.
It was on. It was on
Classic.
season
It
1.
was on
Exactly.
season
I
one,
listened to
yeah,
it because of that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy,
No, Dilla's
like,
a big.
I mean, did you hear that?
Did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dilla's the yeah.
Yeah, he
Dilla
did.
died, yeah.
I just googled him now.
Right. Before putting donuts out.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after putting Donuts out?
He recorded it
It was like short.
in
right,
the hospital,
Short, yeah,
if
yeah, that's
anything.
it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
recorded that album in the hospital.
it's like all instrumental.
Yeah.
I made you listen to.
So the album plays like
Just a while ago.
like a I guess donut being the full circle. So if you were to play it on record on CD, it doesn't work as well. But if you play it, the last track loops back in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to the
So
beginning.
when it starts,
That's it. Yeah. So
What?
it's like a continuous type of
okay.
donut.
I got you.
Makes sense.
Well, that's pretty sick.
Super good. Yeah.
Yeah, production-wise, J. Dill is probably
Yeah.
top 5 best all time.
Oh,
Yeah.
but his production's crazy.
But Dill is also like the brains behind
A lot.
Slum Village.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So
True. Yeah.
And he
a
produced for
big
so
deal.
many artists.
Yeah, that's it. It's his production. That's how I knew him. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he made music by himself.
oh, he raps too. I mean, some of his albums have rapping on. Welcome to Detroit
don't
is
know.
a great. If you
Welcome
want
to
to hear,
Detroit. It's true.
It's not a song with
Yes, it's
Eminem in
true.
it.
No,
Welcome
that's
to
that's
Detroit.
a
Probably-
song with all of them. They have
Yeah,
Big
Detroit
Sean,
versus everybody.
yeah, Detroit versus everybody.
Yeah, with Danny Brown.
Danny
No, but
Brown's
there's
on
an
it,
old
yeah.
one. It's called "Welcome to Detroit." An
Oh no,
old
that's Welcome to Detroit City.
City. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Welcome
wrong
to
song.
Detroit
Wrong
City.
song.
But Detroit have actually great artists. If we're gonna
I
start,
agree.
like
I agree.
Detroit has
yeah,
like Royce the 5'9".
Yeah, for
Where's the
sure, he
five
kills
lines?
it.
Like
Insane.
if you
Lyrically?
have- if you haven't heard the Allegory,
No,
it's
never
his
heard.
new album. It came
I saw
out.
that it came out, but I
Oh
didn't.
my god!
Good.
Like that's what I'm on now.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
like something like I've been going back to since it came out. It's 21 songs with skits. But man, at the end of the album, you're like, it's already done.
And who produced
it? All produced by Royce the 5'9".
Oh, okay.
So Royce the 5'9" has been a rapper since the late 90s.
Yeah.
And he was doing music. He had some issues, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But this is the first time he's produced. This
That's it,
album,
okay.
which is
That's what I
probably,
heard
I
about
think
it.
it's his 8th or 9th album.
It's 8th album. I
quite
just
a few.
researched it.
8th album, fully produced by him.
Okay,
And this is his
wow.
first time producing.
Okay.
And lyrically, he's
Lyrically, we know that
just,
a whole nother level.
to me, beats Eminem lyrically. If you listen, wait till you listen to this album. Take your time. Listen to this album.
He's
a
good,
beast.
man. He's really, I don't know, man. He's different. I like the way he
This is what I want to ask
connects
you
things. I don't know.
guys. When you listen to an album,
Yes.
okay, do you guys listen from the first track to
Yes.
the last track in order?
Yes.
always.
Is there a reason why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why I ask? Does the album sometimes tell a story? I assume they do, right?
Most.
a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But I mean, the answer is simple. You wouldn't just watch your favorite scenes from a movie, right?
Or you wouldn't go
Like in different
at the
order, you
beginning
mean?
of the end of the book and go to
Right.
chapter 1 and chapter 3 and 5.
It's as simple as that. For me, it's as simple as that. The reason why is because it's there.
It's in
Meant
order
to
for
be,
a
that's
reason.
it. It's, yeah.
But sometimes are the albums put in order at random? You know what I mean?
I think
Or are
I
most
think some
artists
guys
go
do that,
through-
yeah.
Some guys probably do that, but I think most people would do it in a sort of sequence, not necessarily that tells a story, but has a flow.
Look at Kendrick's albums.
Kendrick's does.
Right?
Yeah, but Kendrick's, I find, says a story too. Some depends which
Exactly,
album.
yeah, yeah.
I think all of Kendrick's albums tell a story.
I think so too. Some people tell me no, but
no,
I find
those people
they
are
do. Good Kid, Mad
deaf.
City was like a pure. It was like a storyline. It was
man. But when you go
love
into
that.
Pimp a Butterfly,
That too.
then you go in Damn.
yeah,
It
Damn
all
too. Shit,
tells
true,
a
Damn
story.
too, yeah.
Even the Untitled and Master.
Yeah.
Entitled and Mastered. Yeah.
But it's a good question. Take like a Kanye album, probably doesn't have that much of a story to it. There's an intro, there's
But
an outro, there's skits in between.
I find it
the early
flows
stuff.
together, though.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's kind of pieced to give you a kind of flow that's gonna. Imagine having an album where the first 5 songs are. You're knowingly putting them there, knowing they're the best songs. There's nothing to keep people till the end, right?
But
True,
there is
that
some
too.
albums like that.
That's probably just that. Yeah,
But that's why I bring it up because like sometimes they tend to put like I'm not gonna say they'll put the better songs at the beginning,
Right.
but like they'll put maybe like the first 2 songs that are good, so they kind of catch
keeps
the,
you in. Yeah,
and then maybe like the last song or the second last song or the 2 last songs are also good, but everything else in the middle is kind of like
filler.
like an interlude, is like a filler, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
It could tell a story though.
it could.
There
piece
is some
something
albums I've
together,
listened
yeah.
to, and like I really like analyzed the album. He knows which one I'm talking about.
Which
And
one?
by the way, he doesn't agree with me on that one. If that's one
The
you're
Jazz
talking
Crazy
about.
album?
There you
Yeah,
go.
see, I don't fuck with
Hold
that.
up.
See,
Paranoia?
He doesn't.
I don't do it.
Doesn't
I've
say
listened to it so many times, and in different. I don't want to say whatever. Like I listened to it in different like
States.
states of mind. Like
Yeah.
actually really analyzed it. Maybe I can be making it up in my head. Maybe I don't think so though, but maybe. But I feel like he's telling a story from like kind of like beginning of his rap career to like where he is
Where he
now,
was,
and like
yeah.
the awful like road that Hollywood kind of brings you to.
Which album?
Yeah.
Hotel Paranoia.
Hotel Paranoia.
Okay, I'm gonna
So I
check
I
it out
totally
'cause
think it's telling a story.
The hotel is
I
representing
think it's really-
like the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then him, like, so the first song is called
Talk of the town.
Talk of the
Yeah.
Town.
See, that's
That-
like
that I
him
find
coming
is-
up. That's like him coming. It's the talk of the town. It's the talk of Toronto.
Yeah.
That's why he talks about Drake in that song. I don't know
Right.
if you remember.
Yeah.
Talks about Drake on that song just to say that he's from the same town as Drake. He's coming up, and then after he introduced this guy,
And then
I
at the
never
end of
heard
the
him.
song,
It's just that,
like, he checks into the hotel.
yeah,
Right.
And
And he
they're like,
says, like,
Mr. Courtier, we've been
welcome.
expecting you.
Yeah, so like
But
that's
isn't
like
that amazing?
I find that amazing.
Isn't that like
That's a good. That's.
I was
that's-
tripping. Listen to the album.
it's like
I was buzzing.
it's like
Yeah,
a,
for
it's
sure.
like
Crazy.
it's like
I'm like,
you're
wow.
listening to a movie.
Yeah.
That's
the
why
first
I
time
love
he
that.
showed me this album, I don't know. I like when he told me that behind it. I was like,
If you listen to it, like all the tracks mixed up,
oh,
Yeah.
forget
it doesn't make
It
any
doesn't-
sense.
it's less
It makes
cohesive,
zero
yeah.
sense. But if you listen to from track 1, I think there's like 12 or 13 tracks.
And don't think of
Right.
it as like just bangers, like trying to think of like
No,
the
some of it is,
crazy
yeah.
production or
My-
crazy,
my
like
whole
Red
thing
Alert.
with-
That song Red Alert. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I got to that. Yeah,
that
yeah.
production
yeah,
is crazy,
Yeah,
but
so the
it's-
production's really good. My main issue with it was it could have just been another Travis Scott album.
100%. That's
So that's
I
where I
said the
kinda
same
feel
thing.
Same
like-
style.
I
of
told him
song.
it sounded like a Travis Scott album.
That's where I'm kind of struggling, I guess, with hip hop, and that, like you're more into the underground stuff. But a lot of what the commercial hip hop and what people are telling you need to go here just sounds like the other guy.
Yeah,
On a lower level.
It's cookie
Big
cutter
time.
type of music.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Big time.
That's it. So for me to listen to an Astro World, that also is supposed to be kind of a story that, like you say, it's the theme park, right? To me, it's a good album. It passes. I think it's a great. I could listen to it from top to bottom, but the story isn't why I go back to hear it.
No.
So
no.
yes, the story could be the interesting part, and it could be, but it's not what
Travis
gets me there
would be
in the
his
start.
production.
Oh my!
That brings you
for
back.
Travis
Yeah,
Scott.
for me, it's musically
production,
above
yeah.
everything. It's music.
Yeah.
Astro World is all about the music. Like he's not saying anything in his music.
No.
We're
No,
gonna
he's
be
not.
honest.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah,
No.
It's
But just the way the album was put together, and to me, it is like it's like carnival.
yeah.
It's the way it delivers.
I get that
Yeah.
feeling.
Delivery.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I get
good.
that
The
feeling.
delivery is on point.
Yeah,
But just to get back to what you asked for as a question, I can't listen to just certain songs. There's no way in my day that I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to listen to track 4 because I like to listen to
Okay,
track 4.
that was a question I had.
well, I could if I'm on the go.
I do that.
Yeah,
If I'm
it's-
like
I
trying to,
can't.
if I'm getting from point A to point B and I just want to blast two things, yeah. But if I'm going through a listening, like I'm gonna if a new album comes out, I'll know the singles like as they're getting released, but I'll listen to the album on release to decide if that's
Yeah.
Something
an
you'll
album I
add
need to
your-
go get. If that's an album that, because yeah, we still do that. But if it's for me, if the whole album's that good, right?
You don't have a tendency of picking like so like on Spotify, like you could like songs, right? And you
Yeah.
can make like an album,
I'll get them all.
like a catalog or something. So like you won't just pick, let's say, I don't know, for example, like an AC/DC album comes out. I know, stupid
Right.
example, but whatever. And you only pick like 3 songs of that album and you save it into your.
No,
It'll be the whole
I'll
thing, or else
I'll
nothing at
grab
all.
the album. And
That's one thing
yeah.
that he taught me because I used to do that singles all the time, only download singles, and he taught me that too.
But that's fine.
Download
Like
the
that's
whole-
also
yeah,
fine.
but I do my,
Depends.
like you said, depending your mood.
Yeah, and AC/DC
Sometimes
is
I'll
a
listen
great
to the whole
example
album,
because
sometimes I'll listen to the
if
single.
in terms of music, we're talking like what we like as preference. In my opinion, nobody needs a full AC/DC album.
Only a couple bangers.
You need those 10 hits
Agreed.
because everything is exactly the
And it
same.
sounds
amazing.
That's it.
thank you.
Their
Okay.
best
It
album
sounds
is probably their
exactly
greatest
the
hits,
same.
and it's rare that I would say that on any album. And it's actually an Iron Man soundtrack.
Yeah,
their greatest hits.
which is amazing because we used to play that at work all the time. But I think the problem with today is, and this is me going out of bounds, is there's too many playlists. There's too
yeah.
many of that.
Yeah.
So people aren't digesting the full artist. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I like this song from this artist. I like this song from this artist. I like this song from Post Malone. And at the end of the day, when you put a playlist together, everything sounds the same.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want to hear is that sound, but you're taking away from those artists that are making bodies of work
Yeah.
to go out there to be
100%.
listened to,
Yeah.
either as a story or just for you to listen to their music and how they make their music.
And another thing too is designing a playlist. What a lot of like big music heads will do is they'll design sort of playlist for a situation,
Yeah.
which
So
I
like
don't do
workout
because
or something,
yeah, workout
Yeah.
or like a shitty day, whatever. I don't tend to have that way of doing it. But those types of playlists just throw you everything. Like
That kind of sounds
it's
the
not.
same.
It's not. They make you feel like it's crafted for you, but it's all algorithms, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can.
they're deciding
Well, it's all
for
the
you.
tags of the song. Like
That's it.
for Spotify, anyways.
True.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Deciding
speaking
for
on
you,
behalf of
basically.
Spotify. So like, I don't know, like a Russ song would have like, I don't know, like 50 tags. But when they make a playlist, they kind of put all the tags that they think a workout playlist would
Where
have.
do you put all the most
And it
popular
just pulls everything that has
singles
those
and-
type of
Exactly
tags,
it.
right?
But the thing is that if you want to work out, if I want a workout playlist, I could just give a workout album.
Yeah.
You know what I
Run the
mean?
Jewels
Like,
too. Run the
Right?
Jewels too. Yeah.
like if you want a sad album, I'll give you a
give us
sad.
an album. True.
You know?
You don't necessarily need a playlist to.
No, you can listen to the full thing and actually understand what's going on with the music. Because I find that's the problem with today, is that we're not digesting, we're not understanding the artists anymore.
Yeah.
It's none of that no more.
It's singles.
Just,
It's just one hit
and
wonders.
That's
the
it.
beat, if the beat goes hard.
But you could also
then-
go completely the other way now and say that most artists are trying to give you this idea that they're more of an artist than they are.
Yeah.
Just like a Travis Scott, who's giving you this kind of impression that like he has his brains
I
behind.
think that came from Kanye West. I think he made
Yeah,
that.
he kind of started that, but he does have that. I mean, you got to give it to him. But like,
Yeah, as
don't
much
tell
as
me
I-
Kid Cudi could come around and give me this fantastic genius concept that like it's not there.
No.
So just make a good record. It doesn't all need to be a concept. You don't have to fool us into thinking you're,
Yeah.
you know,
You're Jesus.
just make a good record.
So why did
That's
you,
missing, I find.
why did you guys start the podcast? Oh, like basically, right? It's about music, right? I know why. I know you guys. I know what you guys did. I know you guys, your background and stuff like that. But let's say to people, let's say even like my cousin that doesn't know why music.
Well, our friendship started with music. We went to high school together, which is fine and stuff. Actually, we did bond because we met each other at a concert, a Rancid concert.
Oh my God,
For
Rancid.
Indestructible album. I don't know
Okay.
what year, but anyways, it was in the early
03.
2000s. Yeah, 2003, huh? So,
By the way, we all went to the same school.
yeah, we all went to the same.
We all went to, besides you there. Well, you went to the same school, Joe.
I went to the same high school.
But I'm saying we're all the same year. That's how I know them. And in case you didn't know, that's how.
Well, I
Okay,
failed
I'm
twice,
younger.
so I went to a bunch of years. But
yeah.
anyways,
yeah.
but
I'm younger than all you guys, so I can't relate.
but our friendship started with that, and then I was working at HMV.
Wait, you guys didn't meet at school? Like talk at school?
We knew each other from school.
Yeah, like we all knew.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was this Rancid concert where we
Yeah,
saw each
that
other,
everyone
in
was
line,
at,
and
yeah,
then
okay.
we saw each other front row,
Yeah, okay.
and that's how we knew each other. But we
We didn't speak at the show, by the way.
No,
Oh yeah.
It's just we knew we were there.
Yeah,
I
hi-
mean,
hi,
it was
bye.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we saw each other here and there at school. We hung out a bit. You were dating somebody that was friends with the person I was dating. We went to the movies a couple of times, but we never really had conversations the way we do now.
Yeah.
And then I started working at HMV downtown, and he was working at Place Versailles HMV.
Yep.
But he would always come buy his CDs at my store
Yeah.
because they had more quantities.
Or just things that we didn't get.
Yes. And
A lot
then,
of like indie shit wouldn't come
Yeah.
to small stores.
Do all go to the big ones?
Yeah.
And
Just
then-
because our stores wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
Not because they.
no, it just, 'cause there was a
Yeah.
lot more because the store was bigger. It was 3 floors. And then
True,
when
the one downtown was 3.
Yeah.
he came and buy, was it Most Def?
Yeah.
Ecstatic?
Yeah.
At my store.
Yeah.
And I said, do you want to work here?
Yeah.
And I got him a transfer to come and work downtown.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been just
Okay.
best
Chilling.
friends. My best man at my wedding. I was his best man at his wedding. And we talk every day, I guess. It's like,
See how crazy it is. Like
Yeah,
went to
it's
school,
insane.
it was like you barely spoke.
but we bonded
Yeah.
on music.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
At school, I couldn't care about him. I didn't.
But that's
But it's true.
No, it's fair.
How
No,
did-
I mean, I would, yeah.
we bonded
And even
we
at the
bonded with
beginning,
music too though.
yeah.
The same
Well,
thing.
I mean, that's what
That's how we
the
started.
few
Piece of
friends that I
shit in high
had
school. It's true.
in high school were the music people. We were
It's
playing
true.
music. We were.
It's true. That's how we
Yeah, that's what it was.
We became friends.
I was a
Still,
piece of
man.
shit in high school. I didn't care about anybody. I couldn't care less about him. But we bonded on music out of high school.
The way he
as
says that is
adults.
very aggressive, but he also knows that
Fuck this guy, I don't
sometimes I'd go downtown to the HMV and I'd check that he wasn't on the floor before I'd go get what I needed.
but yeah, and then our friendship just went for music. I would go to his house and we would sit in his basement playing NBA, just listening to albums
Triple overtime.
over and over and over again. And we would just text each other, did you hear this album? Did you hear this verse on this song? Like it's just music.
I
Honestly,
love in music.
yeah.
If you don't know, Steve, number 1, has a crazy CD collection.
Oh no, he's got it.
You too?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's got it
Well,
for
the-
genre. Every genre, I only
That's
have
it.
it for
That's it.
hip-hop.
He has
Yeah.
a crazy CD collection. Like he buys every single CD. It's not like
Not
those-
every single, not every single.
Still to this day.
I tried to cut down. My whole rule was for new releases, as
That
of
didn't
this
work.
decade. Well, I'm trying. As of 2020, it would be like I'd be more selective. So if an artist I liked starts releasing like average albums, I don't need it. But if
Back then, you would just buy it.
Yeah, back then I would just give in
remember
and
you
buy
used
it,
to
and
get,
if I didn't like it right away, I'll
everything.
like it at some point.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to be a bit more selective, but yeah, I'm slowly starting to see like how maybe there are other ways I could take advantage of listening to that much music.
Well, Steve,
It's expensive.
I know it's an expensive hobby.
for
It's
sure.
expensive.
It's
And
insane.
then it's like the whole record thing came back around halfway
that.
through this collection that I'm like, fuck, I
buy
can't go the other way
everything
now.
again.
Okay, so you started buying even records.
No. So I
Okay,
considered
okay,
it.
okay.
But knowing the kind of personality I am, it's going to start with my favorites. And then
Oh,
now I
yeah,
have
it's
this
bad.
guy's album. So I got to get the 3 before that because why would I just have the one record, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm,
Domino effect.
yeah.
Your CD collection, you have what, about almost over 2,000?
I don't know.
But
maybe
it's
about
every
that,
genre of music. It's not just rock
It's nuts.
or just hip hop.
Yeah.
It's every genre of music, and it's a crazy collection to see. Where on my hand, I just have about 1,400, 1,500 just hip hop albums.
Shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So like, if you come to our houses
Yeah,
and
we
put
could
our
open a
CDs,
shop.
You can open a store.
we can open
Easy,
a store. It's
easy.
crazy.
The problem that I started noticing also what he was saying how we worked together at HMV was halfway through my trek with you was they needed somebody to do the music in the shop.
Okay.
So I kind of took on the job where I would gather the new releases of the week. I'd bring them home. I'd rip them. I'd bring the CDs back. So a lot of of bands that I liked, I'd bring the CD home early, but I'd still want to own it. So I'd buy it, leave it sealed.
Okay.
So now it's like half of that isn't even like I don't have these albums to play them from the disc. It's pure just for looks.
Yeah, just have the collection.
That's it. They're
So
on the computer. I put them on this. I don't have a fucking
But
CD player
relax
at
though,
home.
because to people like
Well, you
us,
do that too. That's
I
just
do
the way,
that
yeah.
too. But at the end of the day, my collection is not because I want to sell it in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
My collection is there when I
you.
die. It goes to my kids, or you bury it with me, depending on how I want to.
Fucking massive
It's like people who
casket,
collect
man.
model cars. Same thing.
But that's because
You
I
can't do
see.
shit with them, but
it's
it's
true,
sick to
though.
look at.
That's what it is. It's
People that
when you
collect
like
cars,
that to
some
that
people
point.
that just collect
yeah.
cars,
I don't know,
period.
there's people that have like you walk
Yeah.
into the garage and it's like it looks like a showroom.
Really?
Car showroom.
Well,
I've
what's
seen
his
some
name? Like
things, man.
Paul Walker that died.
He had real cars.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. He had a collection with real cars that he wouldn't touch. The cars would not be touched. It's
Yeah,
just
they were
that,
just on the list.
like he said, it's something that you love. And
Yeah.
that you,
A passion.
it means something to you, right?
Speaking of Paul Walker, I love the Fast and the Furious
Oh,
movies. I don't care if people say they're cheesy and
The latest
tanks and
ones,
stuff.
honestly,
they're amazing.
The new ones are like hit and miss, but the old ones are classic.
The one in Brazil. What's the one in Brazil?
Brazil's the fourth, no? Fourth and fifth.
No, fourth one. They come back to LA. Fifth,
So it's
fifth one.
So it's fifth.
Man,
that
that
one's
was
cool
my
too.
favorite one. The one with
That
the
one's
rock.
cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where the rock
Brazil,
comes in.
that
Yeah.
one was my favorite. Sorry, we're talking about cars because it's a
No, that one's good. That one's
podcast,
you're
but
100%
that
right.
one is
But-
amazing.
But what's the purpose behind not drive? So now your listeners are going to think we're completely out of it because we buy records and we know nothing
Mm-hmm.
about this. But what's the so not all cars could be driven, right? Like if you're collecting like old shit,
Yeah.
not everything could be
It could be driven. It's just you don't because of the value.
right.
But so let's say
But
you'll
certain
get
cars have laws that you can't do.
yeah. There's certain cars that are not street legal, but that's mostly like crazy cars that are like crazy models.
The cars where you won't be able to actually drive on the street like daily, like every
Yeah.
day, like with an actual license plate on them, would be cars that are designed for the racetrack.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or like some cars that say in Japan or something that don't come
yeah,
out
but like
here.
you can't pull out fucking 20s cars and
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you can.
really okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look at that on Netflix.
Comedians and
Jerry-
cars.
yeah,
oh,
Jerry
when you have
Exactly,
that kind of
exactly.
money, you could do
Those
whatever
are
you
crazy
want.
cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could drive them wherever.
Man, yeah, some
as
nice
long
cars.
As they're legal there. as
When a
long
car
as
is
Yeah.
created, it
Stock.
passes like certain emissions and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? But
Okay.
when obviously the older they get, they obviously aren't up to date anymore, right? So, but like the government looks at it that if the car was already on the road previously,
It's with the year it was fabricated.
Exactly.
Basically. That's the
you're
law
allowed
that
to
it
have
follows.
it on the street.
So if you have no seat belts, let's say in a 69 Charger,
you
right?
could drive
don't
with
come
no
with
seatbelts if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no seat belts. They're not going to give you a ticket for not having a seat belt.
That's the way a
didn't
car
come
was
with
how
it.
it's
made.
made,
They're
right?
not going
Okay.
to start remaking the car.
Oh shit! I
or
thought
you
it was
could
like
die,
certain
though.
law. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's
on
how it
you.
was back in the day. There was no
No
seat
seatbelts back in
No
the day?
seat, or there was
No
like
seatbelts.
little seat belts like this.
Yeah,
like
just
around the waist.
the waist strap.
So you could actually drive a car that you could
Yeah, you can
90%
fly out the
chance
front
that you're
window
dead if you
easily.
crash.
Like where a place where I used to work used to have an old muscle car.
I love muscle
I
cars.
never put
The
on.
only way
Never. I
that
don't
you
even
won't
know
be
if the
able to
seatbelts
get
work.
away with
That's
it
really didn't
is
care.
if you have to rebuild the car
Yeah, retro.
and you
mod.
have to like not put like a new VIN number on it, but for example, like you take a 1950 car that was crashed
Yeah.
and you like rebuilding it.
Reissue it to the road. Was
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Then you got to put seatbelts in it because
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
you're
yeah, 'cause
now
you're
you're complying
fixing-
to the
yeah, yeah.
2020 or
Got
20
it.
whatever year you built it in. You're complying to their rules.
Because you make a serial number after.
Not
Depends the car.
necessarily.
Depends the car.
It's because you're passing inspection in that
Right.
year that you
Yeah.
rebuilt the car because the
Got
car
it.
is a rebuilt title or whatever on it.
Yeah.
So that's when
That's where they get you.
you're
I'm
not
sure the
allowed, yeah.
government they get you with
But
that.
most cars, you could always drive them on the road. Like Japanese cars, there's always ways of doing it,
Okay.
like ways of getting around it. Here in Canada, anyways. In the States,
I was
I'm
sure
not
you couldn't. Well, I mean,
There is
I
some
know.
cars you really can't, like some
Hmm.
race cars and stuff. Like you really can't drive them in the street. You can't
Yeah,
play
yeah,
them.
yeah. Like if it's the, but I was for some reason under the impression that like old
No.
You could drive them.
No. Yeah.
or certain mileages maybe.
No. No.
Oh, you
no,
called
no.
the right guests, huh?
You could definitely drive them.
So we were talking about it before. You guys got your ideas with doing the lists because you would put everything on a list. Basically, you'd say what's the top 5 this, top
Yeah.
10 this.
Always.
So that's basically that's the only place where you pulled it from, or was it just like
Well,
yeah? Go.
again, like I had said, we spend so much time talking about this. Put it into something that can be heard, that can be shared, that people could maybe want to go hear what we have to say about it. It's good we disagree on a lot. So this conversation going back and
Yeah.
forth about like, one episode we had a guest, we had our friend Gabu come on and
Oh, yeah.
we had a third opinion jumping in, change the way we saw certain albums.
Yep.
Change the way I saw, let's say, a Get Rich or Die Trying, the way he saw it.
2000s one.
That was a 2000s episode
Yeah,
in season 1.
2000s
Episode 8
8.
Yeah,
was one of our most listened to episodes.
that's my favorite
So,
episode, to be honest. I
That's a
wrote
great.
it
That
down
was one
here.
of our favorite episodes.
I wrote it down here. That's
I
my
wish we
favorite
could do that
episode.
again.
Yeah,
I'm
that,
upset that we don't have the
That was my
ways now to do it. But
the last 3 were my favorite ones.
So it got. So that's where you guys got the lists from.
Yeah,
and do
pretty
you
much.
agree with, let's say, the lists like I have here that I brought up?
you want to know
complex?
how we got the list
No, but
together?
I'm saying complex lists or billboard lists.
I don't
No.
agree with it.
Never.
Fuck them.
Well, Billboard is sales
Is
driven.
worse.
Fuck them.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't
Worst,
make lists.
worst.
They make lists. It's based on money.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's all
worst.
sales.
Well, they're
Complex
a
list is
business,
not
Yeah,
as
that's
bad.
it. And you got to see but that's part of the agreement with Billboard is
Yeah.
you can't base it off that. The top album sales are not going to be the best
No.
albums.
A lot of
It's
people
just what Billboard is.
listen to shit music.
Yeah.
because that's what's put in their face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like I have here the complex list. Number 1 artist of the decade was Drake. You
yeah.
agree?
So we actually discussed that on
I
one of
know,
our
it's-
episodes. Yeah. I forget which episode, but we can
it was
find
one
out
of
and
the
if you want
later
to link it.
ones.
But I agree with it because, well, you explained it. Go ahead.
About Drake?
Yeah.
Well, Drake makes music for everybody. So
Right.
overall,
So you say he's over Kendrick?
for
For
me,
you, no, right?
no. For me, no. For me, Kendrick is
Number 1.
When we did Artist of the Decade, Kendrick came in one.
yeah,
That's
From
what
our
I gave.
listeners voted.
Yeah,
Kendrick
that's
won.
what I voted. I voted him as
Yeah.
number 1
but
also.
it's normal to have
Drake was in our face, though, for the whole
Drake would be the
decade.
people pleaser.
That's it. But you got to consider like he put out in the matter of 10 years. Take Care was
God's
well.
plan, nice
Thank
for
me.
what?
Thank me later
Feelings.
was 2010.
Yeah,
Take
God.
Care 2011. Nothing was the same 2013 or 14.
if you're reading this.
If you're reading this was I think maybe 2014 2015.
True.
4 good projects in those first 5 years and then hits.
You
You're
said-
looking at the hits. God's plan, nice for what? In my
That's it.
feelings, one dance, Hotline
So,
Bling.
yeah.
Remember Hotline Bling? I even
Man.
forgot about Hotline Bling. Like,
The,
you
the,
see-
the singles off Views were so good.
true.
The album sucked, but the
was-
singles
I
off
hated
Views
the
were
album. I
incredible.
hated the album.
And the same for Scorpion. Like
The album was kind of rough, but
Yeah.
there's some bangers on it.
that's it. So
look
like
at
when
that.
when you take all those hits, considering the shitty body of work, it's still
You guys answered the question. The hits.
Yeah.
He put out 4 good albums. Okay, you just said 4 good albums, right?
yeah,
And hits.
right.
Of course, he's artist of the decade. But the way I base it on versus where those people based it on is I put Kendrick Lamar because Kendrick Lamar put out 4 fantastic albums.
Yeah, complete albums.
Lyrical albums,
and the lyrics.
storytelling albums. Yeah, he had a couple of hits here and there, but you see how I base it compared to the other people base it or how we based it?
Yeah.
It's also how you prefer. The Kendrick albums are the albums you prefer.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me, I'd say the Kanye albums, and Kanye is artist of the decade. If you ask me.
See, you already put him third.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's. But the thing with Kanye that you also.
Future fourth? Future's
Yeah,
fourth?
that's garbage.
What?
That's bullshit.
But that's
Yeah,
That's
but the
complex.
cells he
Yeah, okay, but he
brings.
wasn't
That's
that
it. That's-
big.
that's-
He was
that's
that
the
big in this
problem,
decade?
and-
You fine?
But
Your Future's been around since like
Mask Off, Love,
mid
Long
2000s,
Time.
man. He's been around for a long
Yeah, I know, but he
A
fell
long
off,
time.
finally.
But again, look how we're basing it. I'm basing it on bodies of work, not hits.
J. Cole's fifth.
Right?
Like the amount of work that they put out.
Yeah, and how
Yeah.
good their work is and how good their album is, not because of their hits. I don't care about your
No,
hits.
the hits don't mean
You
much.
know what I
But
mean?
the Drake thing is how big it actually is, how commercial
He's
he
huge.
put hip hop onto the map. The thing I would say about Kanye is similar to the reason that you said about Kendrick, in that he has the great albums throughout the decade, starting with Beautiful Dark, Yeezus. Mind you, they're not that
College
great
Dropout.
going forward. Well, those are before.
Yeah, okay.
Like-
Those would be
Pablo's
before the
great.
decade, but
Before.
the influence. This was Kanye's decade of influencing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like everyone that came around was based off Kanye.
Influence.
It's even bigger than Drake, if you ask me. But
I
I mean,
appreciate that he put Pusha T though on this list. I wouldn't have expected
he
him to
could have
put
gone
Pusha
higher,
T.
I think.
Yeah, but I'm saying at least they put Pusha T because I didn't think they would put
But Pusha T, lyrically,
Kills it.
amazing.
on my list, he's like
He's
Yeah,
higher
yeah,
than
he
that.
murders it.
Here he's 10.
his number is in the fives.
He's low key like
That's it. He's
like
really
Pusha T for me has just ever since like this decade hit what he was coming out with. Like, see, I look at it lyrically. Pusha T has no hits, maybe one, two.
No.
The featuring
He's
on
not
the
a hit
Kanye.
maker. Yeah, he's not a
You know
hit
what I mean? It's like I'm
yeah, it's
looking at
true.
it deeper than that. I'm looking at it. What did he do for hip hop? How did he do it for hip hop? How was his like? What did he come out with that kind of changed people's mentality? How like their cadence when they were rapping? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
how were they putting their flows together? How did they like his rhyme scheme and all that stuff? That's what I'm
yeah, the
looking
way
at.
he creates
If
the single or the record.
Yeah, if I make sense the way I'm explaining it, like
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, no.
how is he rhyming? Like on like is he rhyming this word with this word and where in his verse? Like it's things like that I'm looking at when I'm looking at these artists and how I base my artists.
Not necessarily on where they rank on the top 10.
Right.
Absolutely
Billboard
not.
or-
Like Billboard.
I would,
like
I would,
said,
I would
Billboard
add to what you're saying. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. This is why these episodes that we do
Yeah.
have good content. I would go as far as saying that Pusha T makes it on best artist of the decade in terms of complex rap,
Yeah.
because we have to now appreciate him after the fact.
Yeah. but you
Nobody's
still-
talking about. Unfortunately,
Nobody
many
talks
of the
about him.
people that are talking about Pusha T are not talking about clips.
No.
So you have to kind of, we didn't like him back then, and we're still not giving that shit enough love. So we gotta.
I feel the people
push
that
the
know
new
about
stuff.
Pusha T today, if you really don't know hip hop that well, our guys just know him and Drake beefed. People don't know.
Yeah,
Pusha T
and that
much.
doesn't
And
mean
besides,
much,
like you
right?
said, the feature on Kanye West.
Exactly.
Right, exactly,
People
yeah.
don't really know Pusha T.
Right.
But man, his lyrics are. I think you introduced me to Pusha T.
Yeah,
you
the album is called.
No,
It has the white cover on it. Wow.
My name is my name.
Yeah, oh my
That's
god,
it.
that
That
album
album,
was
yeah.
sick.
That there's actually one of my favorite songs of the decade. I would say probably Nostalgia with Kendrick
Okay,
Lamar.
that's
song.
the one. That's what he made me hear
Creative
first. That's
song,
the
creative
first
song.
song. I
Like
heard.
you see, like
Yeah.
I'm basing it on things like that. Like
Yeah, that song's insane.
putting Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar on the same song is fucking incredible to me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
they both rap differently.
But the chemistry works.
it really
And,
works.
Like just again, it's the way they put the music, the way it comes out, the way it sounds, the way their lyrics come out, the way they rhyme, the cadence. It's all about that for me.
Yeah. But so now you guys. I know Steve touches upon other genres, right?
Yeah.
In the last season, right? Are you guys really gonna keep it more hip hop based, or are you guys going more towards the all different genres type of thing?
Well, to be honest, I don't mind going into continuing the other genres. I don't mind because I know it. Do I listen to it on a daily basis? Absolutely not. But I know about the music. I've worked in the music industry. I've worked with all that stuff that it doesn't bother me. Like if you listen to season 2, like he was talking about it and I was just
Yeah,
filling
he was
in.
filling in because he was there. I mean, there's some albums we could talk about, like
Arcade Fire.
an Arcade Fire album, for example, releasing. Just working there, you get the impact of what are people.
True. Yeah, you see what's
You're
popular.
from
what's,
here. It's from
Vampire
here. It's kind
Weekend.
of thing. An album like a Tame Impala, I don't know if you're familiar with. Would be
Impala,
like, they would be. What would you? Well, I'm sure they've been sampled somewhere that I could pull off for you. He worked on Astroworld.
Oh yeah.
The guy worked on Astroworld
Okay.
with Travis Scott. But albums of that level, even though they're not, mainstream releases, you get an idea of.
I like Vampire Weekend. But I like some of this music too. Am I gonna go put it on my phone? No.
Not
Am
necessarily.
I gonna
Okay,
buy the
plays.
album? No. But like I've been to 2 Radiohead concerts
Right.
in this decade.
Okay.
because I
Okay.
like Radiohead. I think they're a fantastic group of artists. And I went to see them. I'm not gonna listen to them the next day or a
Okay.
week later.
That's fair.
But I've listened to them to that point where I respect their music. Same thing with like a bunch of artists, Vampire Weekend, Tame Impala. I like those bands, but I'm not gonna go buy their music.
But is the podcast was going to be mostly based on hip hop, or it's going to be like future wise, obviously? Because
The season one we started with hip hop because we had to kind of break
Season
the
one
ice.
was 100% hip hop,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We
exactly.
needed to season one. I'm gonna say this, and then I'll give you the mic for that. We needed to get it out. Season one
Okay.
needed to get out.
Do you say it was your strongest genre? Would be hip hop? That's
Combined,
why you
yes.
guys. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why. Okay.
Yeah.
So we needed to
figured.
get season one out of just hip hop, our 100 albums that we think are the top 100s to go listen to if you want to start listening to hip hop, all that stuff. We needed to get that list out.
Yeah.
It was like something we needed to get off our chest.
Okay.
So season two, we tried something different.
It was appropriate because the
Yeah.
decade was ending, so we went with a decade in review musically.
So any genre.
Any genre, whatever you were listening to in 2010, bring it back up, revisit. Do certain albums stand the test of time. That's the other thing too. Today in modern music, everything is rushed into being a classic.
Yeah. True.
We talked about
The test of time is what
Yeah.
you guys always talk about.
that's it,
And I find it
yeah.
really, it's hard to do that.
Not
To
many
have music
people
that-
are.
Basically, sorry, I don't know if you heard them say it. Basically, test of time music that lasts forever. Like we said at the beginning, I don't know if we said on the podcast, we're talking about 50 Cent, right?
Yeah, like a Get
Yeah.
Rich Die Trying.
Like that album is.
That's not going nowhere.
No.
Yeah, but
exactly.
that
exactly.
album became a classic, not the first year it came out.
Exactly.
Test of
It
time.
became
That's it.
maybe
That's
like
the test of time.
10 years after.
Right.
Test of time.
Or whatever, 5 years. I don't know how long it took to become a classic, but I
Yeah.
assume it didn't become a classic the first year.
No, it stood. It made its way to that point, right?
I love that album, man.
You can
But
listen
take
to
something
that
like a Rodeo, Travis Scott.
Yeah.
We got 2 mixtapes before, and when Rodeo was announced, it was already a classic. Could we fucking hear it?
one. That's the problem.
True.
That's the problem.
That's the fucking
But you
problem.
also
Yeah.
have to look at it in a way that the artist or the record label or not the production, but the people that are
Who's
behind
controlling it.
pushing the album have to market this album.
Yes, that's
A lot
their
of
job.
marketing comes into play.
You're absolutely right.
It
That's
is a
their
business
job.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So they have to push. There's so much music that comes out.
Yeah.
This is how I see it. There's so much music that comes out at once
Mm-hmm.
that if everybody follows the same, everybody does follow the same cookie cutter type of recipe. But
Yeah.
to stand out for example, like Travis Scott and stuff like that, you have to make. You gotta do like an impact.
You got to
right?
make me believe it's good, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Right?
Well, look, because before you brought up that Kanye West, this decade has influenced
Yeah,
the music industry, right?
right.
But what helped him influence the music industry? His relationship with probably the most popular, successful woman of all time, I would have to say, right?
Yeah.
When did he marry her? In 2010, he started going out
was
with
it
her.
after that?
But he has like 8 kids with her already, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I think
It pushed him.
Oh
think?
yeah,
You
well, it
think?
pushed him.
Yes,
But
because before Kim
I find he was better
Kardashian,
before Kim. That's what
he
I
was definitely good. I'm not saying he,
he was
wasn't
always
good.
good.
I find he was
But
better
did it
before.
rise his?
I
Actually-
think
Did it
more,
bring him to like higher fame? Yes.
Actually, I'll let you guys answer.
It's for me. It's clear because
Well, you hear his name more,
exactly.
I find it's
but
the
you got to
clothing.
remember that this is a guy that shoos people off.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with him in public.
But he's
He's just for that world.
a psychopath now because of
You
his
hear his name
relationship
more,
with her.
but he's
Exactly.
not as.
I find
He's
Kim,
not in interviews every week. He's
Kim
not,
brought him more into the fashion industry. I think that's all she did and got his name out.
Oh, maybe that helped him.
I think that
But
helps.
he was doing
it
that too
because-
before.
Yeah, but I find she
but it's
probably
all-
knowing with her on it and maybe her choosing some things like the new Yeezys, like the designs behind it.
Yeah, doing that.
I'm
kind of
sure.
shit, yeah.
I'm sure that helped. And her name.
But you think him like being
her
in the
connections.
him being in the fashion industry, sorry, and like releasing like those hype shoes and all that stuff kind of helps his record
his
sales.
sales? Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you, are their shoes nice?
I fucking hate them.
I can't stand them.
I wouldn't
Right.
wear a pair.
Well, no, there's some. Wait,
Right.
whoa. I'm a sneaker guy. So the Nikes, Kanye West
Yes,
Nikes.
yes,
Wow.
agreed.
Adidas, some are nice, but
Well,
the
just- we could-
350,
Look,
whatever
those
it's called.
350s, like the
350s, the regular
mainstream
ones.
one,
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear
I
them.
can't.
We're getting into specifics, but just the clothing line.
Oh no, I don't like what he wears. Like the ripped, everything ripped,
Yeah,
everything
but
baggy.
to
Everything.
stop looking at it, only us four. You got to think about the
But if
whole
us four at the
respect of it.
table could
Yeah.
agree that this is nice, how many people are buying it
A lot
that
more.
don't actually think it's nice?
A lot of people are
And
buying
how many
it.
people are listening to this music that don't actually think it's good?
A lot.
What?
That's the that's the whole thing.
Quoting you guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what Jay-Z says in the song Syllables?
Fuck, I heard that song not long ago, actually.
Do you just listen to music or do you just skim through it, right?
That's it.
What they say all the time. I find everyone just skims through. A good amount just skim through it. And
Yeah.
that's the problem today. Kanye just puts out a song. It could be the worst. Like his last album was the worst. Oh my, disgusting. But everyone jumped on it and made it sound
But wait,
like it
people
was,
backed
I don't
off.
know, graduation or
Look,
something.
no, people didn't love
amazing.
it.
Like,
People didn't love that one, I'd say.
people that know music didn't like it. But some people that just, because it's easy, and like you said, you have the easy shoes on and you have this
Yeah.
on.
So
and
that's why I say him.
Do I think
it does
if we're
connect.
talking strictly music, I think he influenced the voice of music for the 2010s in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I think he put out some of his best work.
Early in the
Early,
in the
very,
decade.
yes.
Life of Pablo was a bit of a mess.
I don't like that.
I actually
What
like that
came
album.
after was
There's
out.
a couple good
It's good.
songs.
No, it's super good.
Yeah.
But the release was like slow. He had
release.
tracks.
Yes,
it
he
was
had
like,
all
no.
that, the issues.
So
that
things like
released.
that kind of, I guess, take away from just like, let's just get the stuff and hear it. All that, and I forgot your question.
but
He's saying
I
does
remember.
the shoes and all that
No.
stuff, the
What
what's it
I
called?
said is that
the clothing.
we use Kanye West as an example because he's obviously
Yeah.
the biggest one, right? But what I was trying to say is that what drives record sales or for it to
Oh,
be
right. The
popular,
comment I made about the classic. Yeah. Well, the
Yeah,
record,
the classic, exactly.
the record company should tell me it's a classic. That's their job. But when Views came out, we made the example of, sorry about that. When Views came out, we made the example that the singles were good. It got on the radio. But when the album came out, there's a line that he says on it, Views already a classic. The album flops.
But look what they're pushing in your face. They're telling you it's a classic.
That's it.
There's a
But
problem.
yeah,
there.
but
that's
they're going to
it.
tell you the next album is a classic as well.
Exactly.
There's a
That's
problem.
their
That's the
job to
problem.
do that.
But
We
they
got
gotta
to
make money.
decide.
Yeah, for
And on
sure.
an album like a Rodeo, going back to that, you released 2 mixtapes that were average at best, his early stuff.
Yeah, I never heard.
And then Rodeo is already praised to be like this, like it's going to change
Is
rap.
it out yet? Out of curiosity. I don't
Yeah, this was his first
I
album.
find,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
came
yeah.
I find
okay.
he's taking the same steps as Yeezy.
He kind of is. But
Almost
the
the
whole
same thing
thing,
with the shoes, with everything.
Don't they work
He's
together,
Really,
yeah, they've worked together. Yeah.
Well, apparently not anymore. But
No, yeah.
But the great
exactly.
thing about Travis Scott is this is kind of all being done without him wanting it. Like people decided Rodeo was a classic because we were waiting so long for his first album. His second album was better. His third album was better.
Yeah.
He's just going through a music project from one to the next. And not to get off topic, going back to Rodeo, it wasn't good.
I liked it.
I didn't
Is
think
it
it
because
was.
it's his first album that kind of put him on the map? People think it's a classic.
His mixtapes put him on the map.
I
His
think,
mixtapes
yeah.
put him on the map. People were waiting for this first album.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Gotta stay away from this media. Look,
Yeah,
I'm being
that's-
honest.
that's a bit of
That
the
was
problem.
my next
Mainstream
question
music, yeah.
to you guys would be: what do you guys think of the new hip hop guys? Little Uzi, Little Vert. What a Lil Uzi Vert? Sorry, that's the
little
one.
Vert, little
Little
Uzi.
this, little that,
Little
little
Green.
Boozy, little all these guys. The mumble rap people call them that type of trap
I think
scene that's going on with obviously because of Migos.
You want to weigh in on it?
I'll let you go first because I'm gonna just rip.
Yeah, he's gonna go off on them. I think one little Uzi's fine.
Older than that. That's my point. There's so
I don't
many.
need. I don't need more than that, right?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, his song. What's his big song? What's
I don't know. I
Listen
listen
to
to
the
their
wrong guy.
music.
I know nothing about
One
him.
of his tracks was named like best song of the year.
Oh my God! What's
from,
that song?
I'll get it now,
Yeah,
hold
you're
on.
gonna find it right away when you search him on
but
Spotify.
to me, that song was not even ever
EXO
on my
Tour
radar.
Life.
Yeah, that was never
EXO
even on my
Tour
radar.
Life. Yeah, I hated that.
And I think it's fine if you have one guy like Uzi. Like I could take him on Bad and Bougie. I could take him if he's featured here and there.
Which isn't a problem.
But I don't need. And he doesn't put out music too often.
No.
Oh, I'm not
So-
just saying him. I'm saying in general.
But that's the thing is one of him is fine. But I don't like there are 3 people in Migos. You don't have to go make
You don't
a
need
Migos album.
I don't understand why everyone. See, look, the thing. I don't know if you guys said it in your podcast or where I've heard it somewhere. I probably heard it somewhere before too. The new guys, it's like they're coming out, and they all not sound alike, but they sound similar.
Yeah.
Okay, back in the day, let's say Snoop Dogg, right? He was different, right? He was completely different. Snoop Dogg came out. You take his flow or copy his flow, what happens?
It's a disaster.
You're getting taken off.
You're-
no music. You're getting nothing.
Well,
being,
there was a beef back in the day with Raekwon and Ghostface from Wu-Tang, thinking that the Notorious B.I.G. stole his flow from
Yes.
them and Nas.
Yes.
And that was a beef.
Yes.
But I'm going to weigh in now because you gave me that opportunity, is everybody sounds the same, okay? The beats sound the same, the artists sound the
And
same.
they're all the same guys almost all the time. Doing the
Exactly.
beats.
There's the
Metro
little
Boomin,
this
all
and
those
little
guys,
that, but that doesn't bother me. I don't care about what your name is. I care about the quality of music you put out. But the problem that's happening right now is that we are in a time that people want to listen to playlists. So everything sounds the same, right, on the playlist?
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
True, yeah. Never thought of that.
Number two, the young generation, because we're in our 30s, right?
Yep.
30s, late 20s, whatever. So the generation,
Mid-20s, give him a break.
late 20s.
I'm not that old, man.
You're 25.
25, yeah.
It's right in the middle.
The generation wants to listen to a certain
Type of song.
Yeah.
genre of hip hop. And I have no problem with mumble rap. I have no problem with trap music. I have no problem with that stuff because there is artists I like.
Yeah.
I do like the Migos.
Exactly.
Young
You
Thug.
know,
Young
Young
Thug
Thug.
too, yeah. The guys who started it, basically, like,
Yeah.
Let's call it
brought
that,
it
yeah.
up.
Futures, certain albums I like. There is
Chainz,
artists
I
I
love
like.
2
But the
Chainz too.
problem that's happening right now is that the people that are listening to that style, like the Lil Uzi Verts, the Lil Pumps, and all those people, they're not using their heads when they're listening to hip hop, okay? We're in a generation right now that people don't want to use their heads.
Yeah, they want
They
to.
don't want. They
mindless.
don't want to think.
Yeah.
It's
They're
all
mindless.
mindless.
They just want to sit back and they do not care about lyrics.
No.
They just want the thing to go
The beat,
over and
yeah.
over and over
The
again.
808 Club.
If
I call it a lot. I refer to it as Marvel music.
Yeah.
It's just
True, yeah, I could-
you're just doing it. It's just to tune you out.
us four,
It's more of your phone is there to tune you out.
Yeah.
Now your music is there to
The
tune you
TV
out.
is there to
too.
tune you out. The
That's
computer is
us
there to tune
four.
you
Just
out.
more of you to
us
tune out.
four could actually take about a month and make an album that sounds like everything that's coming out without any effort.
Easily.
But that's what the problem is. There's no effort in it.
Yeah.
So the generation that's listening to this music right now are the younger. So they're, I would say, anywhere between 15, 20.
Yeah, like when we discovered
21.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't want to think. They just wanted to have the same beat, and for
They want to be comfortable with,
yes, that's the
listening to
perfect
music
word.
without.
Thinking and without going to the. They don't want to use their
They don't want to experience anything new.
exactly, and it's not lyrical. So you're not thinking. You're not listening. Oh, this guy! Look at this guy. The way he puts his music together. It's always the same thing over and
The beat.
over. It's redundant. But that's that generation. It's that we're in that now.
Yeah.
But at some point, those people are gonna get older.
Yeah, like
Right?
what, you're going to listen to this?
No, you can't.
I don't think so.
You can't because I could.
It won't
listen
do,
to
like
it.
we're talking about a test of time. I don't think it'll.
I could listen to it, but after a while, I'm just like,
Yeah, you
Jesus
fed up with
Christ,
hearing it.
I need to put
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else
something
on.
more.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
yeah. You get
feel
fed up.
Like I'm getting
I get
stupider
fed up.
as
Yeah,
it
yeah,
goes.
You're 100% right.
Because everything sounds the same.
True.
You put on one of these guys' albums, and you're like, okay, song number one,
Was good.
good. But hold on a second, song number two, okay, it sounds like song number one.
yeah, it's just
song number
the
three
heavy
sounds
bass,
like every.
heavy,
You know,
yeah.
it continually
same.
sounds
Yeah.
the same.
Continuous.
But the people that are listening to this, it's the vast majority right now, is that they don't care. That's what they want. They want that pump up party music.
Yeah, I
they
guess,
want to
true.
repeat the same
Yeah.
thing over and over and over and over and over again.
You think it's because they were not brought up, but because they were born into this era?
Well,
You think it's 'cause
I was
because
gonna-
We were growing up.
They're lazy. The problem
It's
is with
lazy,
the
yeah,
generation.
You think it's that?
Listen, they're lazy. They are lazy, so they're listening to lazy music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like us growing up,
Yeah.
we had what growing up? Like that was coming out, I'm saying.
Rap wasn't at a great place when we
But
were
it
young.
was-
It
It
was
was starting
Eminem's. There was the
Eminem,
50s. It was that
Drake,
era.
like
There was you got
Jay-Z.
some Atlanta that was coming out.
Yeah, some Outcast. Like, you see, we were in that good era. I find it helped for us to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
hold on. You think it's. Look, I think it's a good era too. I love that type of music, but I think we think it's a good era because we grew up with that era. But
I
maybe
could-
the
I
people
could
of
listen-
today are gonna think that this is a good era. For example, like my 10-year-old cousin, for example, like, or my 15, whatever. If I show him a Snoop Dogg song from 99, like the song Gin and Juice, for
Yeah.
example, what year it came out? Like 97, 98 it came out?
93.
93.
Whatever, like
yeah.
early
93.
90s, like when I was born. If I show him that song right now, he's gonna look at me and start laughing at me like shit.
Well, that's a bit
the
of
problem.
But for me, I listen to that song and I'm like, fuck,
The
the song
synth,
is
the sound,
insane. Like the way it
country
starts is
sound
like
is-
it gives me goosebumps listening
that
to
West
the song.
Coast.
But look what they're all listening to it, so they're showing each other that
Yeah.
like we did. But again, it's the lazy generation. I don't want to have to think. I just want to listen to lazy music. But wait, they're gonna get older at some point. These kids
Yeah,
are gonna get older
The
at
state of
some
mind
point.
is gonna change
and be like,
hopefully, or
Really?
that's when they get
I'll
into
listen to
EDM.
this.
Really? I'm fucking 25 years old listening to this redundant music.
Yeah.
I need something different.
Yeah, for sure.
Either I'm gonna switch genres, or I'm gonna
Look
go
for other
look for
artists.
something.
Yeah.
Or the music is just gonna
Change.
switch, and it's gonna be back to lyricism and back to
I think that's
good,
what's gonna
making good
happen.
music, making good songs, spending time with making good music, taking the time and the effort, like some of these artists do, or like they did back then. We're in the lazy generation.
But the music always changes though every couple of years. Like
it's somewhat.
late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s was like gangster rap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lyrical.
That New York,
It depends where you're
that
from.
New York.
See, this is how I'm gonna end that question. Okay, back in the day, you knew where the music was coming
100%,
from,
that
right?
too, that
you
too.
knew you were listening to
South,
West Coast music.
East,
You knew you were listening
West.
to Atlanta,
Yeah.
East, West, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like
It's
I
all
want to
same.
go listen to new artists. Holy shit! It all sounds the
There's
same.
like-
Who's coming from where? You don't have a background of these guys anymore.
Yeah.
Back then, you had the full background of like, fuck, this guy's from Atlanta. He sounds from like he's from Atlanta. Oh, Nas, fuck, Nas is from New York.
Yeah.
You could associate these people with places and where they were from.
Even
and how they grew up.
production-wise.
Ex-
Production-wise.
yes.
Like, you know the Dr. Dre
That's
sound.
what
If
that-
you know the hip-hop, you know that Dr. Dre sound.
What
like
he just
that,
said
right?
about you
So-
knowing the background of the artist is clutch, because when you were listening to a guy like Too Short or an E40, they were on each other's albums because they were the Bay Area. That's
Yeah,
the,
the
you
Bay
know, those
Area.
were the
They were
big
from
names from the Bay.
Yeah.
Why did Nas feature on Raekwon's album? Well, he was up and coming in New York.
Yeah, in
That's
New
what it
York.
was. Now it's about who has enough dirty money to get the biggest rapper on their album. I don't know where any of these guys come from. I just know that for some reason, they've got Ross on their album. They've got Young Thug on their album. And I've never heard of them before.
Big baby, something baby.
Little bit.
Little
There's
Baby,
two
Little
babies
Baby,
around
Baby.
right now,
Okay,
and none of them are
Rich.
Where are
bird.
they from?
One of them is like,
No idea.
I have no idea where he's
You know?
I don't know where he came from, period. But he's blowing up. Like, he's on every
You
song.
have no
all of a
idea where
sudden.
he's from,
I have
right?
no
Is that
idea.
the
Why,
Baby?
why do people listen to
The
him?
baby.
The
The
Baby.
baby.
The Baby.
Yeah, the baby is
So, okay.
huge.
Or
He's
Rodeo
huge right
Rich.
now.
Where's he
Yeah, I
from?
already. Yeah.
You have no idea.
No idea.
No, I wouldn't even know.
Me
But-
neither.
I wouldn't be able to guess.
Unfortunately, and I've told you this before, The Baby is not an album. Is not an artist I would listen to regularly. But of these guys that are getting thrown in the bucket, deserves a bit more
Where did
because
these
he could
guys
actually
come
spit.
from?
He is-
I have
yeah,
no
he could
idea.
spit.
Is it the
He
record
would
company
spit.
throwing in
I think he's
these
from New York.
puppets?
I have no idea where he's from.
Well, look at
I
Tekashi
have no idea
6ix9ine.
where he's from, but the
Or
bit
Lil
that I
Nas
heard
X.
was
Look at those guys. They're being pushed by the
I
record
think those
label.
guys aren't actually artists. I'll use Lil Nas X song as an example.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's called.
Old Town
Oh my
Road.
God.
Old
he's from
Town Road.
Cleveland.
Who?
The baby.
That's crazy.
There you
Okay, you have like, you see, there you go, Cleveland. You have
Bone
like
Thugs.
MGK,
Bone Thugs.
Bone Thugs. That's it. And this guy, I would have never thought he was from Cleveland.
But what's his history? Like, what's his?
We don't know. There's no history behind it.
I just
It's
searched the baby where he's
So then
from
what?
in
They're just
Cleveland.
puppets that the industry
I
puts
wouldn't
into
have
there,
expected
I guess.
that.
like Lil Nas
industry
X and all these
puppets.
other people.
Industry puppets.
oh, social media.
Social media.
True.
His
true.
dance was a meme.
Yes, it's true.
Who's this now?
The baby.
Yeah,
What's his dance? I never saw it.
Oh my God. You have
It was,
to search it. I forgot. It was,
it was one of his. So he put out 2 albums last year, and on the second album, I think. So the first album was actually well received. The second album was all right. But there was a single on there that he's in the street, and it's like a whole
It's
dance
like, what's
thing
his
that takes
name?
off. and-
What's that guy's name? Bobby Schmurder. Bobby Schmurder?
yeah,
With
let's
that
call it
hand-
that. But it's like
you know,
more,
doing that
yeah.
dance?
Who's in prison
But it's
right
more
now?
produced. It's well produced.
actually?
It's like,
He's
Yeah,
serving
he's been there for a while.
serving a, if I'm
After
not
that song.
mistaken,
After that song, he had to do.
he, I think, is in prison for anywhere between 3 to 5 years.
Is it that song
Weapon
about a week
charges.
ago? That's one. Is it that one?
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that song is actually good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you
I
like
think
that.
I've heard it like twice.
And, you,
So I
and if
can't
you listen
give
to
my-
his EP, he tries different things with his
Yo,
voice
he was
and stuff.
sentenced to 117 years in prison.
Yeah, they wanted him gone.
Yeah, because of gun charges. But
Like, he's not coming back.
no, he is coming
Yeah,
back.
it's
He's
been
coming out
figured
next year.
yeah.
What the hell? From 117
Because
to
it got
130?
because there was other people that got caught
okay.
with, like he was part of it.
Okay,
but
so he got a
was,
7-year prison sentence after that.
Oh, it's 7.
yeah.
Okay, so he's been in prison.
That's
for,
what it says. It's been a while. That's since that song.
Yeah,
He just blew up with that song. And
yeah. But the EP,
lot
like
of
he's
guys.
doing something different. Like you see
Yeah.
different things in his music, and he's from New York. So.
yeah.
But there's a problem with music right now, and it's the generation.
So getting in from that, what we usually do, or what we do sometimes, depending on our guests, we have a rapid fire questions or rapid fire cards. Usually we do something like that. Which you guys obviously want to do hip hop artists.
Okay.
Which basically we're gonna ask you. We're just gonna spit out names.
Are you aiming it at one of us, or we both got it?
Both. I want both your input because I know you guys are
Okay.
both different. So
Okay, you're starting.
that's it. We just want to know what you feel about them. Doesn't have to be anything like
Right.
into depth. Kanye West was one of them, but I know how you guys feel about Kanye West.
I think we had like a 20-minute conversation with Kanye West.
So I think people are gonna get fed up of hearing us.
The last look, I'll say this for Kanye West to end it off. Now I could not care less about him.
Me too. Same.
I think his music is just, again, there's no effort into it.
Yeah.
It's just blah.
As a fan since day one, I'll call it hype.
Okay. You know, you got me into Kanye because I hated Kanye.
I have
college,
that.
you're
I seem
like,
to
oh,
have
just
that
listen
effect
to
on
him.
people, I guess.
Yeah.
But
You're like in college, remember? Just listen to him. Just
Yeah.
listen to him. I was like, oh man, I can't stand this guy. He's too like cocky. He's too this. Just listen to his product, and
yeah,
that's why
He does
I
have good
respect
songs.
for
I
him.
have to give it to him.
Yeah.
Like when the song, like an
Runaway is,
older
like, my
song.
favorite
Yeah,
song.
exactly.
Runaway
When
is
an older
incredible.
song comes
Yeah.
on, you just like you don't want to switch the station or
Yeah.
the
And
track
that's
or
what
whatever.
coming back to what Steve too said, was that these guys, these mumble trap guys, I don't think in 10 or 20 years I'm gonna say, oh shit, that was a banger. I want to listen to this again. I don't think so. Like Runaway, like I was, you'll
I could
stop
put that
and
on
What's
once
that
a day.
the
song that
little
came out,
keyboard in the beginning
from
is
the
just
classic.
yeah,
From the girl with the dreads.
a little ma.
Yeah, young.
I mean, young
Young
ma.
Young M.A.
Yeah.
What's that song
I
called? That
liked
was
it,
that
you know?
popular one.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
does anybody here when the song comes on, you actually listen to it?
No.
I don't even know
Do
that
you what?
song.
Do you what?
I don't know that song.
When the song comes on,
Yeah.
or let's see, like you're scrolling on Spotify and you see it, are you actually gonna click on it?
Never.
You know what? She has some good
and
tracks,
it's three.
though.
Or, no, but
Yeah.
let's stay to that one.
She's lyrically, she's strong.
Where she's from and who she runs with and the people that
Exactly.
are behind her that
Yeah.
push her, they're good people.
Yeah.
Who she would? I have no idea what this is.
No, but she's been backed by, like
the New York guys, like
Buckshot
yeah.
and like people like
really?
that. She might have been on tour with people from Duck Down Records and
She's really, I find lyrically she's pretty.
well, Eminem put her on his
On her
latest
new
album.
album.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put on a new album.
People like her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you had something. I was like, people what? Okay. You have one, Joe?
50 Cent. That's my favorite artist of all time. So I want to know your.
Oh, yeah,
opinion
that's
on
your
it.
favorite of
That's
all
my
time?
favorite artist of all time.
Can I ask you why?
So I grew up listening to 50 Cent. My second album was Get Rich or Die Trying that I actually bought. So I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me, like the movie, and like I don't know, just listening to him kind of became like
What about his other albums like The Massacre,
all of them.
Animal Ambition?
All of them. I have them all on my phone. I listen to every single
Okay,
song.
good. That's good.
All of them.
Because a lot of people say he fell off.
I love all the songs.
I think that he had his big run, but he's put out some good work.
Yo, he has a
after.
lot of albums.
Have you ever listened to his mixtapes? The ones before Get Rich or Die Trying?
No.
Okay, you
No,
need-
like How to Rob and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was on
Some of them.
Power of the Dollar.
That one I didn't
So
hear that
Power
one.
of the Dollar is the album you need to listen to because that album was the album he put out before he got shot. The reason why he got shot
Was because of the album.
because one of the songs, Ghetto Quran, that song is where he's calling out a gangster, and that's why he got shot. Go listen to that song.
Okay, I'll take a listen.
And then after he got shot, he came back with Guess Who's Back.
Yeah, that one I've heard.
Yeah, and then the mixtape run started with 50 Cent is the Future,
Yeah.
God's Plan, and stuff like that. And that's what got him popular because he was doing a mixtape run. So you should listen to stuff like that because that 50 Cent for me is
Killer.
amazing. And Get Rich or Die
And you?
Trying.
Yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying is classic for sure.
For me, 50, I could take it or leave it. I won't turn it off.
I'll never turn them off. Before I self-destruct
Like-
all of them, I don't care. They're all good.
When it rains, it
I
pours.
like them all.
You know that
Great
song?
song.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't know it?
You know that song?
You know that
I
song if it
don't-
comes
I
out.
You know
don't
that song
follow
just
it.
from the instrumental?
Yeah.
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
What
You
is
would.
that on Get Rich?
No, that's
I
on,
don't know
the
much beyond
soundtrack.
the Massacre.
Yeah.
The Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
Okay, no, I wouldn't know.
Because that song plays in the
Production.
movie. In the
Yeah,
in the,
and I always have that same image during the Four People in Grandpa's Cadillac. That's how the lyrics go. I don't know. I find that song puts you in a state
Yep.
that you're ready to
It's
go rob a bank or something. And
Hey,
it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like
50 Cent did a lot in those years, man.
Yep.
He brought the club's
Yeah.
sound back. They were playing all the Get Rich or Die Trying album was all hits.
Yeah.
All of the
Yeah, the
hits
whole
you
album.
could play. I would say 90% of it in a club at that time. And the rest were just street tracks, but they were all good. There was not one bad song.
I have something I could say that goes a bit beyond take it or leave it. If you didn't get it when it was around, you won't get it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for
I agree
sure.
with
What?
that.
So for me,
From,
for
like-
me, when it was happening, I didn't care for that.
For that album, you mean?
So he
For
didn't
that
listen
album,
to
for
it
that
type of
artist.
thing.
I would even go as far as saying that type of hip hop. Like I'm not an Eminem guy, but if you try and get into 50 Cent later, it's too late.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
it's
it's
a guy.
early.
It's really a
It's a
type of
vibe
artist
that's when it
that's
was
there. Yeah.
happening. I got you.
So maybe that's what
Like
it
some
is.
people might listen to Animal Ambition or Before I Self Destruct and all those albums,
Yeah.
and they might not like it.
Yeah, because it's a different 50.
I like Before I Self
Me too. I love
Me
that
too.
album.
and Animal Ambition.
Me too. I like both of them.
Crazy. Put your hands up.
Did we answer the question right? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I did
Yeah,
not
yeah,
answer
you killed
that
it,
question.
killed it,
So
Okay, cool.
for one of my favorite artists that I know you guys don't give enough love on your podcast, and I always call it out, J. Cole. Look, you see their faces?
No, but J. Cole. Okay, what do I need to answer?
Just rapid fire. What you think?
Rapid
I,
fire.
I
What
got
do you
it.
think
Could I
about
go?
J. Cole?
Go.
What you said about the story in an album, he perfected that.
Yep.
And there's one thing that I said to him after hearing the Jazz Cardi album. I'm not a fan of Cole, but he sticks to the plan. I feel like Cardi's album went a bit in and out of the concept.
Of Loop, okay.
Yeah. So I feel like Cole will come with the idea
He'll
of
write
this
a
is what
body
this album's
too.
going to be about. He's not getting away from that.
True.
So he's devoted to that. The rest of it for me, I would sum it up with overrated.
Okay.
See?
Yeah. I don't think and the no feature bullshit, I don't want to hear it.
I
Because
don't agree
I
with that
don't
either.
need
I don't
to-
agree with that
Stupid.
either.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because people that use that excuse as
Well, he did it with what,
no
Gangstar?
features
The
and
last
went
one?
platinum has nothing to do with anything. I'm buying your album. I don't need the features.
He was featured on it.
That's
fine.
And that's the one. I think he said after that, I'm not
Yeah.
featuring anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a gangster song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you next.
Dr. Dre.
Did you want to go on Cole or?
No, you're fine.
He summed it up for both of you guys.
His albums sometimes could get too boring.
I agree with that. Sometimes
Lyrically, it's great.
sometimes I'll like switch like next
Lyrically,
song.
he's great.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So Dre,
Dr. Dre, yeah.
an icon, like a genius.
Good.
I just wish they wouldn't have got to his head.
True.
That's all.
True.
Okay.
With all the fame.
The beats, man. Nobody fucking made beats like Dr. Dre.
Compton's good, but it's not Dre.
We're not gonna be serious
Yeah, my
here.
Compton was for an album very underrated. I find.
Yeah, because it was for the times. He made the album for the time,
And
Yeah.
also made it for the movie.
and
Yeah.
and pushed the artists on that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Anderson
it's
.Paak,
Dre,
yeah,
Lil
exactly.
Wayne.
And he brought back some of the old ones, but
Well, yeah, you had Kendrick on. You had
nobody
Exhibit.
makes beats like Dre.
Exhibit, Snoop, right? You had Snoop
Yeah, they
too.
came back around.
Nobody makes beats like Dre.
I find the production on that album was
Incredible.
Oh, that's his job, right?
Incredible.
amazing.
He knows how to make you. He gets the listener in. Dr. Dre. His
love that
albums are so crisp.
Oh, everything.
It's
pulls you
so
in.
fucking crisp.
They
You
say
hear everything.
Yeah, they say he's crazy though. They
Yeah.
say like he'll make you redo the same
Yep.
thing.
That's why he doesn't put out
Have
albums.
you
'cause
guys
it takes
watched
forever to
the
perfect it.
the Defiant ones?
Yes, amazing,
you
amazing.
see him in his
amazing,
studio?
Amazing.
You just like repeat,
You know that
repeat,
it's-
repeat,
yeah.
repeat. Like do it again, do it again, do
Is
it
it
again,
on
do it again.
Netflix still, that thing?
No,
No,
God damn it.
no. It's
It is
HBO.
HBO,
Yeah.
You gotta like illegally download that shit.
I might buy it, actually. It's on Blu-ray and DVD.
So now I know one that's close to you guys' heart, both of you, and you guys got me into it. Wu-Tang. What do you feel about them? What did they do to music and hip hop and
First off,
New York?
I'll let him take it.
First off, for me, I've had I would say 5 artists or groups in my life that changed the way I listen to music or just changed me as a human being. And to me, Wu-Tang is probably number 1 on that list.
And you? Sorry.
I would say that solo work outdid the regular stuff, but as a unit, they still fall in the same bucket.
Who would you say is the top artist of the Wu-Tang?
Oh, that changes every
that's
day.
hard.
We
Yeah,
have that.
I
That's
know,
one of the
I
top.
know.
That's one of the all times that we have, huh? If I had to pick today, Ghostface.
Really, Ghostface?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And
like
you know what?
Ghostface that
Oftentimes it is.
Steve too.
Raekwon.
much. Okay,
Well, yeah.
I
Ghostface and
think-
Raekwon are in my top
Like,
5.
it's one
most
and the
of
other, right?
Yeah,
But Jizz slept on because the later half of his career didn't
I like
go
RZA
well.
too. RZA too.
Master
RZA,
Killa slept on like
Yeah,
crazy.
Master Killa
Yeah,
slept
Master
on.
Killa, people don't even know he's part of.
Inspector
Wu-Tang.
Deck. Yes.
But I
Inspector
wouldn't
Deck
listen to a
also.
RZA album. Let's say I struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
he's
his
better on
job
the-
is
he's-
it's
producing
true.
for them
Yeah,
and
he's
for the
very
group,
good. Yeah, exactly. Production-wise is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, his second album, no, his third album, Birth of a Prince, is probably his best one. Or is it Digital Bullets? The one with Fat Joe on La Rumba song, which is amazing.
It wasn't on
But
Birth of a Prince, I don't think.
His first one is okay. it's the second and third album that are better than his first. Yeah,
Do you listen to Wu-Tang, Joe?
No, never.
No,
you should.
It's good. It's good stuff.
It's a good way
Only
to.
song I heard was Cream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
the
that's probably one of the
Classic,
best hip hop.
Yeah, that's the
songs ever.
classics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
am I a hardcore fan of them? To be honest with you, no. Like if a
Yeah.
song comes on,
Well, it's not your era. Not even close to your era.
no,
too,
at all.
Does that-
Zero.
well,
like,
technically
it's
yes,
timeless,
no,
though.
because we
That's
were 3
timeless.
years old.
Yeah.
When it
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't. I'm not saying I don't like them, but like their style of rap isn't kind of
Well,
how, like I like gangster rap. Like that, for my honest opinion, that's what I like.
But
the
they're not
most.
even gangster
Well,
rap.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I like the most.
Yeah.
Like the 50 Cent, Eminem
Yeah, yeah.
era.
Yeah.
Like you play that, I can sit in a room for like years and just listen to that. If you play like all the, like 90s,
Wu-Tang is different
like,
though. They're
I
like a
can't do
different.
it
Yeah.
that
You know,
much.
like you started off with
Everybody
their,
was different. I probably sounded really loud when I said that, but everybody in there was different, rhymed different, put their lyrics together different.
see,
Had a different tone, different
Going back
voice.
to
all of
Migos,
that.
right?
Yeah.
They could almost all sound the same. If you do not know Migos, you could almost not even say
Tell the
who's who.
difference.
Okay.
So, yeah, for sure.
You go to
Wu-Tang,
Wu-Tang,
they've all got characters.
each
Yeah.
each one you can
Yeah.
right
part of the
away, you
thing,
can
yeah.
tell right
And
away.
they've
Like
all
ODB,
changed
like
hip-hop.
Yeah.
so
All.
original, like these guys. And you see, I wasn't into it at all. Wu-Tang at all. I knew, like you said, Cream, this and that. Steve introduced me
One.
Steve One introduced me to Old Dirty Bastard. You know what ODB is?
Yeah.
Good way to start.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And that's how he started me off with Wu-Tang. I love ODB. I find he's like,
Yeah, it's great.
and then what song was it with Busta Rhymes?
Oh, the remix.
yeah.
Hoo-ha.
Yeah,
Woo-ha,
Woo-ha,
woo-ha.
Woo-ha. He got me stuck on that. I think it was like for a whole semester. I was repeat that song. I remember that. So yeah, Wu-Tang. I think you have to like fall into it. It's it's a different type.
They're
of,
all different, and you
are.
could just if you go on their solo work, you're getting something different.
It's true, and they all have their own
Then-
soul stuff.
Then they're fucking
They're strong too.
albums. They're albums as a group.
And you have
like
to tilt your hat to
divided in
RZA too, because you talk about a lot of artists in the last 10 years that start reaching out into other types of music.
RZA.
But he's been trying for so long, and
Yeah.
nobody has it on his own stuff. So
By the way, FYI,
bad.
this is not rapid fire because we're going deep
yeah,
into
we're
the
going deeper. than shit, yeah. Yeah, let's try and do
Well,
more
Wu-Tang's an
rap.
exception
next,
because you
next.
guys like it.
Let's go.
Next will be Lil Wayne.
Ooh, I know this.
Go, you do this one. I'll jump in.
I was listening to that today, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
New album, you guys like it? Funeral?
I didn't hear it yet.
long.
I didn't even hear Funeral yet.
A lot of
Seems
songs
a
in
bit
it.
long.
A lot of songs.
Way too long.
long.
So this
Way
is
too
okay. Remember before I was saying that a lot of albums don't follow a track list, or
yeah, that one.
they make no not they don't make no sense, but they don't tell a story, or they don't really follow a flow. This one comes up to my head right now. Like you said, it's too long, right? I think it's like 20 songs, something
Yeah.
like that.
24.
None of them make sense.
That's what a
They're
lot
good
of
songs, but
yeah.
I find they don't make sense.
A lot of that though has to do with the current streaming situation that artists are in. So that's the reason
Yeah.
why Scorpion's a double album, why Views was so
Yeah.
long, why Migos did Culture 2 and 2 out in a double disc, is because now, don't quote me, but I believe that depending on how many songs you have in like the most played, like the top
Yeah.
50 charts, boosts your kind of
It's the
visibility
algorithm.
Okay.
type of thing.
The algorithm.
So if you're putting out an album that has 25 songs and 8 of them are like,
Bangers.
I understand what you're trying to say.
million streams,
You'll have more of a
getting
chance.
It's
Yeah.
like Rust.
Yeah.
Based
Type
type
of
of
shit.
Well,
algorithm.
that's how he blew up was because of that. That's his how he says
I
it.
think that's what it is.
Yeah, but Wayne.
Opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Sum it up in one word.
I don't think much of it.
Game changer. There you go.
Game changer. I'd go with Game changer's cool.
Sorry, I
No,
answered
I'm
for
cool
you.
with that. I'm cool with that.
Steve, do you like Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Like a lot?
Actually, if you listen to episode 8, 9, one of those episodes, and episode,
He apologized.
I apologize because I
Yes.
had a
Yes,
I
yes,
had a
yes.
very
Strong opinion.
True.
I really like Lil Wayne, but then everybody in our high school and everybody that didn't listen to hip hop started to get into Lil Wayne, and I was just like, I can't do this
remember
because
that.
there's so many fake people.
Because
listening to Lil
Lollipop
Wayne.
came out and everyone jumped on it. But before Lollipop,
Everybody,
Or like
they
Amelie,
had
so
all
many
those songs.
bangers.
the
Yeah.
people could have
With
listened.
Manny Fresh
they were
and all that,
listening to all those fucking those art house music, club music, that music that sounds the same the whole way, the boom boom thing music, techno shit. We're getting into Lil Wayne, and I was just like, but I started liking Lil Wayne because he was making good music and it was fun and it was lyrical and it was different. But now everybody's jumping on him. I can't do this. This is fake
I know.
bullshit.
I remember in high school, I think the first song I heard of him was something I think with Manny Fresh, and then after I think Hustler Music.
How's the music?
Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
So good.
And then after, like he said, everyone jumped on it. And I
Go
I felt the
DJ
same
with Manny
way.
Fresh.
Go
Go
DJ.
DJ.
Go DJ. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
That's on
exactly.
Sick song.
That's on
Exactly,
the Carter
yeah.
one, the first Carter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we said rapid fire questions.
Jesus.
Okay, let's try again.
We suck at this.
I don't know how you guys feel on this. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, no interest.
Zero?
Horrendous.
Okay.
Horrendous.
Horrendous.
He can't rap. It's weird the way he raps.
What?
Different
I find he
style.
can't rap.
It's rap, hip hop mixed like a lot of punk, rock.
But that's cool. I like that he does that. That's very
I like
cool because
his,
he's stepping
his
out
songs
of
with
his box.
Travis Barker and stuff. I like them.
Yeah,
I
'cause
find it
that's
really
cool that he does that. But I just find it really weird and
You don't like it?
not for me. Not for me.
Next, Joe.
Lionel Richie.
He's got some.
He's got some hits. Fuck.
All I see is his face.
Yo, I love Lionel Richie.
He's a
I'm not
good-looking
gonna lie.
man. Pause.
Okay, so
Especially on that cover of Hello. Shit.
Yeah.
I know you guys are gonna like this one because I started listening to him because of you guys, because of the podcast. Benny the Butcher.
I have too much pressure for Benny. I got a
So
lot
I
of
gotta
weight on my
answer?
shoulders, so you're going.
Quick.
My opinion is I have so much weight, so I've been.
Incredible lyricist, incredible artist. People are deaf if they do not listen to him.
Aggressive artist though.
Aggressive, but it's all detail.
Yeah.
His lyrics are all detail. He will fucking talk about that laptop in so many different ways, and he'll make you just be like, "This is incredible. I want to buy it."
He's a good
And
salesman.
he's talking about drugs.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a good salesman.
Did you ever listen to besides the feature on Russ?
No, it's the only song I heard
Okay.
from him is the feature
Incredible.
on
And
Russ.
on the feature on Russ, he's not even close to good.
He just does the chorus.
Oh my god, no, not yeah, but
And he has a
No,
bit
he
of a
does.
verse.
You know, he's
does
got
the verse.
bars. He's
But
got
he-
bars on the
yeah,
rest
but he's not as I find as his own shit.
because he needed to step back.
Like I find, yeah, I agree with that. But I find lyrically, wow, this guy could spit, man. And like, there's some songs like he's saying a story like he's about to go rob someone or go like really like ghetto gangster. You feel like you're in the car with him, like he's ready to go. He's cocking his gun,
It's
but like you
all
said, very
detail.
detailed, very very.
If you
detailed.
ask me who my favorite hip hop artist is, are you guys gonna ask me that after? Because I won't answer.
yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, so I'm not answering.
Yeah,
Save it.
I bet you it's.
you next.
Next would be Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, good one.
Oh, well.
good one because I wouldn't have
was
thought.
cool.
That was
I
a good
wouldn't have. Yeah, okay.
Steelers Nation.
Okay.
Hits. Some
Hits?
good
See,
hits.
Steelers Nation.
He's got some good hits.
I liked MGK, man. MGK, what am I saying? Wiz Khalifa.
His career is done though. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
with each
his
other.
career's done. Well, ever since that Fast and the Furious song there.
The last album was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Rolling Papers too.
Another one
No, I didn't listen.
that I got to listen again, I think, because of you, man. Anderson .Paak.
I could go off on this, so you go.
Fuck no, you said I want you to go.
Quick,
Okay.
just short answers.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
There's no possibility of short answers.
I think it's a shame because the Malibu album. Well, Venice was good. Malibu was man. Remember when Malibu came out? How hard I was in that, and
me and Steve spoke
like,
about
man, I
this
was
way too many
selling that.
times.
I don't remember loving selling an album. How many times I made it go sold out.
Yep.
And I just feel like we were looking at an artist, and right after that, he put out two big singles, Bubbling and
Okay, yes, Bubbling, yes.
I forget the other single. It was more of a slow one.
Bubbling is not even on.
No, but that's it. So Bubbling and the single, of, the one that had FKA Twigs in the video.
Fuck, I don't remember.
I'll find it while I say,
Yeah,
but
I know what you're talking about.
they were two insane singles, and the albums that followed just didn't.
But as an artist,
It's a shame. As an artist, I think potential, but
Agreed.
I want to see it. I want to see
I
more.
love that the snare the way he plays that.
He's a hell of a performer. That's a given.
goodness.
he
That's
kills it.
that's
There you go.
a,
Even the
You
way
stole
he-
the word.
yeah.
You stole
Exactly,
the word.
exactly,
Performer.
yeah.
Hell of a performer.
The way he plays the
musician.
drums low too.
Yeah.
Like he'll play them very soft.
Musician.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like a
Musician.
great musician.
Yeah. Do you have more?
Okay, I can't pronounce that
I just
word.
want to. I want to see him do more. I'm gonna get the name of the single because I brought it up now.
No, nice
but,
rapid fire questions.
Yeah, I know. We're the
probably
single
the
was
worst at
called
this.
fucking
We're
Till
with-
It's Over.
Till It's
I thought it was that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say it because it's not that.
Okay,
Till It's Over.
okay. You?
G-Eazy.
Oof. I know what the answer is for this one for them.
Boring.
Thank you.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm not into the music, but guys like E40 are pushing him, so there must
I
be
respect
something
you
good
for
about
that,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
he's from? He's from the Bay.
He's from the
so-
Bay, right?
Yeah, but I
So
don't think E40 would get behind somebody who isn't.
he could lyrically could do some damage, I'd say, but like more than that.
He's
Like
got
I
some-
can't listen to his whole album and be like, I have to re-listen to his album
No.
again. Like I'm like fed up of it.
It's very poppy hits
Yes.
Yeah.
type thing.
Like the new, getting off topic, Post Malone album. I don't know if you heard the
I
new
didn't
one.
hear it.
Sounds like a pop album.
Yeah.
That's what
sounds like a
yeah,
pop
It was
he
bound
doesn't
to go
care
that
about-
way,
He
right?
doesn't care about hip hop. He's making an album for.
Next, sorry, fuck, rapid fire. Outcast.
Oh man,
I know the answer.
you can't say anything about Outkast.
Andre 3000.
If I had to listen to a couple of albums before I die, an Outcast album would be there.
That's a good way of saying it. Do you listen to Outkast? No.
Oh man, Outkast.
So this is because I was friends with him. So all this
It's
shit.
otherworldly.
That's
When I
not-
was to simply put it, when I was starting to get into music in general,
Yeah,
it was
you
more
said
like
this,
rock and punk stuff. I said that on the first season. That was the exception. Outkast was the exception to all hip hop for anyone that only listened to that stuff.
But man, each of their albums sound different. Not one of
Yeah,
them
it's-
sounds like the other.
But
They've
they
broken
have
so
that
many barriers.
southern sound, like what we were saying, right? They have that
Yeah, but-
southern
But
sound
it's still
that.
not.
They broke barriers.
I know.
Yeah.
Even the way they rap, the way Andre 3000 raps is like so
Man,
unique.
Big Boy
and
too,
so-
man.
Big
Big
Boy
Boy.
too. Big Boy is very underrated. I mean,
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't think of him as a rapper or as an artist.
In 1997, they went to go get an artist from New York when that was not happening, and they were from Atlanta. They went to get Raekwon.
Yeah, true. They started that.
They started that. Jay-Z started that with Juvenile
True,
on
Jay-Z.
the Ha
Yes,
remix.
it's true. Yeah.
Nas did some songs with Mac from the No Limit. That was
Yes.
from New Orleans. All that stuff. You know, like Outkast did incredible work.
Talking about Mac Miller. It's funny how
Great
that was the
artist.
next one on my list, and you said Mac. I was like, wow.
Great artist.
Yeah?
Like he
Okay.
really grew as an artist from when he first came out. Because I fucking detested his music when he
Me
came
too,
out.
when he first came out.
But man, he
You don't
just
you don't like no Donald Trump?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't for me. I found it was too poppy. I found that he was trying too hard on that Blue Slide Park album.
Oh yes.
But anyways, he grew so well and he did so well for music, and he started producing and making just some
Yeah, the
incredible
production
music.
behind it grew like I
Yeah.
find substantially,
Yeah.
like a crazy amount. There's some songs that like you could see that he put like trumpet, guitar,
Yeah.
with drums,
Yeah.
like not samples. Like you could tell that they weren't samples.
He look. Mac Miller is a student of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Student of the game.
Perfect way to say it. Yeah.
Steeler Nation.
A Boogie with a hoodie.
Sounds like everything else.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's fine. He sounds like
Fuck
everything.
yeah.
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 I don't agree with that. I
Yeah.
find he's good.
From our
That type of rapper, I like him.
the new album was a bit shaky. I'm not
The
gonna
album
lie.
was very poppy. Again, these
Yeah,
guys
he's
are
Where's he
old
from?
to that.
You guys know where he's from?
No fucking idea.
No.
Atlanta.
Oh, he's from Brooklyn, no?
Yeah, he's from New
He's
York.
from New York.
No idea.
Isn't bad.
I suck to know where people are from.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
Does he sound like he's from there?
No chance.
No, not at all. He sounds like but that's the thing now.
That's
Like
the
you
time.
said.
He's getting pushed by a lot of New York artists too.
Yeah, he is. My last one, because I never heard you guys really talk about him much. Big Sean. I'm curious.
Oh,
Very-
good question,
Very cheeseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cheesy.
yeah. I
You
think
don't
he's,
find that first album? Say what you have to say. I'll bring it
I
up.
think actually, well, go no. if
Finally
you-
famous.
I was
Is
gonna
it
say
finally famous. Yeah, it's finally
Yeah.
famous.
Very
It's,
cheeseball.
I was gonna say the bet that he peaked at Dark Sky Paradise.
Yeah, Dark
Is
Sky
that-
Paradise.
We
That's
know
the
where he
guy,
was
that's
good,
the
yeah.
And we own that album.
Yeah, I actually picked that one up and
Hall of
it's
Fame was
gone
good
now.
too.
Hall of Fame was the one before, right?
Before, yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I think I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I like
because
Hall of
Finally
Fame.
Famous was
Finally famous. No, that one.
Finally Famous is 2011.
Dark Sky Paradise is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
Black with
yeah.
the chain.
that one I
That
like.
album was amazing.
That one I
album.
like. He went really.
It doesn't age well though.
But then after that's it.
Yeah.
After his music, after that, then like you said, he featured on Welcome to Detroit, whatever.
Yeah.
Detroit City, whatever the hell it is.
Was he on also
He was
Metro
good. Yeah,
Boomin's
funny. He spit
album?
bars on that
He
song.
was
Double or Nothing?
They did an album together. That was
Yeah,
their
Double or
album
Nothing,
together.
That was last year, right?
17.
We're
Yeah.
okay, a couple
2017.
years ago. Yeah.
3 years ago.
And I said, do you have any more? around
Yeah.
that?
And before this podcast, we had a little confrontation, and so we'll save it for the air.
Oh,
So I kind of have to know now. This is my last one. Russ.
Let's not make that a rapid fire. Because I want to
We'll
hear
save
this.
it. Okay, so I'll do a last one. We'll do, I don't know, Linkin Park.
garbage.
Yeah?
No, fuck that.
When I saw it on that list, like Steve is not gonna like that.
Well, no, they made a good song. What's that song that was good?
The fact that you don't know the name of it, it
Tell me.
They have decent songs, but I wouldn't say they're like
No, their first album, Hybrid Theory, they have some good
they're
fucking
good. They're
metal
good. No,
songs. on
I
that
agree
shit.
they're good, but they're not
Very no, their first
like that
album had
era
some
with
fucking-
crawling and all that stuff was like mainstreamy. I don't know. They're not bad, but yeah. Okay, so why so much hate on Russ?
Honestly, it's not hate. It's
He's
I
Italian.
I don't
by the
get
way,
it.
FYI.
Yeah, did you know that?
He's
Yeah,
half
he's
Italian.
always there.
Last
Sicilian.
name, yeah,
It's like
Sicilian.
you can hear when he talks,
I know,
and
yeah.
his ego.
Yeah, I know. So
It doesn't come get me. It's not. I don't disrespect the path. I don't disrespect the amount of work he puts in.
I like that he does everything himself. That's the one
I think
thing
that's good.
that drawed me.
I just
him
think
is that everything is
the
himself.
songwriting isn't good, if you ask me. That's
Really?
and I think songwriting is above everything else.
I'd say that's his weaker point. Yeah, would be
Yeah,
song, would
so-
be he's good lyrically. Like he can put a body of music together very well. You can make a hit type of thing very well. Lyrically, like he said, I felt like Benny the Butcher on that album had to dumb it down for Russ. I agree.
Benny the Butcher does say in the song he had to dumb it down for some certain people.
Yeah.
He says that in the song?
No, not in that song.
Oh, okay.
but-
No, he said it
I was like,
before.
fuck, I
He
gotta
said
re-listen to it
before.
then.
Yeah.
But my opinion on Russ is it's cool that he does everything by himself. I respect that a lot. I think it's fantastic.
And that he was also putting out a song, what was it a week? A song a day? What was it? At one
week, a
point
week.
when no one was listening to him.
His hustle to get to
Exactly.
where he is
That's
fantastic.
something you got to respect. Yeah.
You
I
have to.
respect
You
that.
have to respect that.
But I find his music doesn't do anything for me. There's nothing there that attracts me to his music. I find his music. Look, I have a problem with artists like this, and this is why. They could do so much more with their music and the way they put their music together that he goes a different route for the reason I don't know.
I think if he would make more music with different people, it would help.
That too, but
Like his song, did you hear the song with Rick Ross on the new album?
yes, and
guess
he's
what?
worked with Rick Ross a bunch of times, and I've
find
heard
it's a-
all those Rick Ross songs.
It's a banger, I find.
Yeah, it's a banger, but the thing is, I don't find he steps out of his element. He could do so
He rarely
much,
does. He's,
but that's the problem. He
he's-
sticks to what he was doing
his
all
melody
the time.
type rap.
He doesn't stick out of his element, and I find he's afraid to do other things.
You know what I think?
Other things.
Because he doesn't feature on no one. He never features. He has no one making his music. The only producer besides him was, what's his face? Scott Storch. That was
Yeah.
the only man that produced.
Yeah.
Any man, any
Great
woman,
producer.
whatever.
I think the new album now, there was other...
Yes, there was. Well, there was. What's it
Other
called?
than him.
Digital. What's it called? Digital. Oh my God, what's the producer? Anyway, he has more different ones on this album, but I'd say that he's always, like Steve said, he has a lot of the same stuff.
It's a one-way trip with him. Right? It's the same all the time.
Yep.
I think he needs to step out of his realm and be like, I'm gonna do something different because he can. I know he can. He's not making any different music. Let's be honest with each other. He's
Yeah.
not making
It's
any
kind of the
different
same
music.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Right.
always the same stuff.
And he went to go get Benny. That's fantastic.
That's what I was
listened to
going to
the
ask
song.
you. Did you expect that? I didn't.
No,
When I saw the track list, I didn't.
but Russ has respect for artists like Benny. So why not step out and do some different things?
Yeah.
The song with Benny, it's a okay track. Benny destroyed him on that song.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
it's cool to go get ourselves. I like that. It attracts me more. But you could have done something differently, and you could do different things. But I respect him for what he did. I just don't like his music.
I got you.
Okay. So, you guys are doing, right? You guys have seasons, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're wrapping this up a
You
little
guys
bit
don't
there.
do seasons.
We don't do seasons. We're just
That's
episode
good,
after
that's good.
episode.
That's cool.
Before
I
we
like
get
that.
on to the season thing, I
Yeah,
have
sorry.
one last question for you guys.
Sorry.
I know this is a car-related podcast. We spoke about music like a lot this
we
podcast.
spoke nothing about.
It's all good
vehicles.
though. Yo, I love music. Let's talk about music. It's all good.
I know.
One
We could
question
go
I do
for
have when it comes to cars and driving and stuff like that. When you guys are stuck in traffic, actually, let me rephrase this question. What's your go-to song when you're stuck in traffic, driving to work, driving home, or whatever? Or
Violent
go-to
rap.
album or whatever you guys want to say. Song or
Violent
album.
rap.
Is to
usually-
is stuck in
That's
traffic.
right, like Betty the Butcher.
I need to look. I need to step away from me being in traffic because I have anxiety issues when I'm in traffic,
Okay.
and I have anger management problems.
Okay.
So when I'm in traffic, I'm a violent person. Like I punch my steering wheel, I scream at the person in front of me. I get violent. So yes, I'll go to the violent rap or the angry aggressive rap, but I need something to calm me down sometimes. So
Maybe some Russ is gonna call me down.
absolutely not. It's gonna probably get
He's
me
gonna
more
start
angry.
punching more things. You're gonna
But
see.
I think I need to I don't know. Sometimes I even lower my music because I get to a point where I need to concentrate or I'm gonna murder someone. Can I say that on this podcast?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
But I'm always listening to that aggressive lyrical music, so it just stays on.
Steve one.
I find if I'm driving, I don't drive much. So if I am driving, I'll probably go with a new release of around when I'll be driving to give it a bit more listen.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I have a go-to. I'm not big on the rap while I'm driving. I find that
Yeah, it's true.
It
You
makes
listen to
anxiety go through the roof.
More of a
So,
calmer
yeah,
type of
it's just
some Lionel Richie,
some Lionel there.
some Lionel Richie.
some George Benson.
So, like I was saying before, are you done? You have anything else that you wanted to ask before I start more wrapping up on their side?
When can I ask you guys questions?
Shoot.
But I'm scared you're
want?
gonna ask me the same question, and I'm gonna
Ask me a
shoot,
question.
shoot.
Go.
Cars. This is cars. We're all about
Let's do
cars,
it.
vehicles, fuel up podcast.
Yep.
What are your favorite cars? Each and every one of you. I know it's a cheeseball question, but I need to know.
Us, I'd say we could choose what category?
Because I
we
like
like
what you
20
guys
cars.
do on like Instagram, where you guys post a picture of 2 cars and
Yeah.
you gotta choose. I always choose.
Speaking of this
Oh,
poll,
yeah, it's
I had
true,
to bring this
true,
up actually
true,
because you don't always choose.
Oh, I missed some.
So I posted one a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I knew you guys were coming onto this podcast.
Okay,
so I'm
which
like,
one? Which
I'm
one?
waiting.
Didn't
Hold on.
Didn't Steve just say I don't want to ask this question because it's gonna backfire on me? See what
So
happened?
I
It
posted a
did.
picture
Okay.
a couple days ago of the 2 Lamborghinis.
I answered that one.
On which account?
Probably on my own account.
Yeah,
because
I
I-
was looking for the all-time
tell
podcast
you.
account.
Oh, okay. I probably took the newer looking one.
The blue one or the purple one?
Fuck, I don't remember. Wait, but there was white Lamborghinis at one point.
So it was either a new school one or an old school Lamborghini.
yeah, I picked.
Yeah.
I think I picked the new school one.
Okay,
yeah, I picked the new
Because
school
I was like,
one.
yo, he's coming. I gotta ream him for not
No, I
posting
did-
up
So
the
I-
you
poll.
saw the logo, but no vote. How did?
No, so when I looked at the results, I was looking
Yeah.
for your guys' actual like podcast page.
Oh, I-
not
Oh, you
your,
can see who voted.
Yeah, I can see.
No,
who
that's how
voted.
good we are
I
at
do it
that.
on
Yeah,
mine.
but I don't know what's your personal account. That's why.
I'll tell you. That's what I'm
Easy
looking
does
now
it,
because I have
36.
them. Yeah.
Let's see.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
he voted for it.
I don't know if I did.
New
Did I?
school.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see you.
Yeah, no.
How do you do that?
You have to go into archive. I'll show
See,
you
I
after.
do vote.
I'll show you.
Okay.
after.
All right.
Yeah,
Steve,
you
Owen,
know why?
You didn't vote.
I'm not gonna.
Well, it was such a tough. I mean,
Hold on a second. You see, I did vote
You did.
because I like those cars.
There you go.
You like Lamborghinis? Yeah, you told me that before.
Yeah, I want to.
So he
A
chose
red
the new
Lamborghini.
school. This was the picture,
Lime
by the way.
green,
if you
yeah.
Lime
find
green.
it.
Okay.
oh, I don't remember that.
So which
I
one?
actually don't remember that. I remember there was one of 2 squares.
Yeah, that was me. That was
yeah.
another one.
And then I posted one with a Corvette and
Yeah.
a McLaren.
That's hard. That
I
one.
don't
to be
remember
honest.
that.
That one is actually hard. It took me a while to choose
I know,
because
that's it.
I like Lamborghinis. I like the way they look.
Show me, I'll tell you now what I would have
Oh,
picked.
shit. I just closed it.
So one of them is a new school blue Aventador, and the other one's
Oh
an
yeah, no,
old
I would have
school-
gone old school.
Old school purple
Diablo?
Diablo, basically.
Yeah,
That purple is fucking nice.
That's what I
Nice,
chose. I
yeah.
chose old
It's
school too.
signature.
And I'm not
What'd
that
you
many. 24%.
New school.
I used to
I
have
like
one
the
of
old
those.
cars. Don't get me
Model.
wrong.
yeah,
Everyone has them. Yeah,
of course.
Everyone had
That's
those
like
ones
the
from the
go-to model
90s.
for somebody that
Yeah,
doesn't know
those from the
cars.
90s. So to answer your question, my favorite cars.
German.
I don't have a favorite car, like you said. Yeah, it would be German cars. Anything German, BMW, Audi, Volks, Mercedes. Anything German, I find is
I hear
just.
they're expensive to repair.
You know what? They're expensive. If you're going into like those higher end, like this kid wants to get,
S-Class
like he
or-
wants no, like I'm talking about E63 stuff like that. Like these cars that are performance cars, like just the brakes. He wanted to get one of these cars, and I gave him a quote. I found some pricing for him. I remember online. Just a disc, one disc was like how many? It was $1,000.
Yeah, it's $1,000 a disc.
$1,000 one disc
Oh.
to change. So
No
it's like
pads.
Right.
they're expensive, but there's a reason why they're expensive. Once you drive one,
Yeah.
you understand. You don't want to go back to anything else. Not that Japanese are bad. Not that anything else is bad because they all have their fortes. They're all strong in their own different ways. Nissan has their own thing. Everyone has their own thing. But German, I find all around, if you want luxury, sporty, like sportiness, comfort, it's quiet in the car. If music, the sound systems they put inside the Bang & Olufsen, like they use like high-end Harman Kardon. They don't use like regular Bose or like American brands. They use like they stick everything is still German.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I find everything the car's tighter, so for me anything German I'm happy with. That's my or else it's too long for me to pick one car. I'll never be able to.
So for me, it kind of changed. So I used to be like hardcore.
Might be my fault.
Yeah, it definitely is fault. I used to be like super hardcore, like American cars.
Yeah.
So like growing up, my parents always had like American cars. So Fords and like Buicks and GMs and like
Yeah.
pickups. My dad used to own a construction company.
Okay.
So I used to have always like Ford pickup trucks. So for me, like the Mustang is my muscle car.
Right.
If you tell me what muscle car I like the most, Mustang, I have one too.
Okay.
So
Jesus,
I love
okay.
that car. But the more and more I drive them and kind of like experience them, I also work in a German car company. I'm not gonna say which car company it is, but
Yeah.
I work with them, so I get to experience them every day. I also own a German car now.
Yeah.
So I kind of shifted into the Germans.
Yeah.
Like Matt said, luxury, performance, all that stuff. But muscle cars are still like my
Yeah, I love them.
bread and like, for example, like we go to Florida like every year and stuff, and like their muscle cars are very popular because there's no snow.
Right.
American.
So
Of course.
rear wheel drive is the thing to
Yeah.
do, right? So everybody has Mustangs, challenges, stuff like that. So if I lived in Florida, I'd buy a muscle car. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably.
But here in
The price
Canada, for snow and stuff, I'd stick to the German
Yeah.
all-wheel drive reliability. Not reliability is a bit iffy,
They
but
perform a bit better here.
they do perform a lot better. Yeah. But I do like muscle cars, but it's kind of switching over to German. So like
Yeah.
Mercedes is my go-to car.
I like
My
Mercedes.
impression on German
I love
cars,
Mercedes.
which is probably the obvious for most people listening, is its comfort and
Yeah. Even
luxury, right?
if you would think, you probably don't pick up on these things. Like me, I sit in a Japanese car. I'll be driving, or you're just sitting in a passenger seat. I hear every rock off the road. Clink,
Yeah.
clink, clink, clink. You don't realize these things. People don't realize these things. You get into a German car, it's quiet. You don't hear anything.
Why?
Insulation, the way
car's always
I'm
It's weird 'cause-
mechanic by trade,
yeah.
right? You could see it when I take a door panel off. When I used to take a door panel off a German car, there was like this much insulation.
And it's
you take a
double
and it's
paneled.
double. It's leather. It's thicker plastic. You take one off. Let's just say a Honda Civic. We always go back to Honda Civics or Toyota or anything like that. You'll take it off. It's just a piece of plastic. There's no insulation. There's nothing. So I guess that's what a German, and why you're paying that much more, right? Also for that car.
It's crazy that for somebody who's into like sound and recording and shit like that, I never once thought about
Yeah.
quiet
But that's
car.
what's cool about what these guys do is they talk
Yeah,
about
it's-
this shit and
Yeah.
you fucking learn. Because I have zero knowledge.
That's what's nice. I find that like I really meant what I said before. Like I do listen, and every week I know nothing about cars. I'm there till the end.
Good.
And it's
Appreciate
like a bit of what Joey Diaz once said was, people just want a wiretap, right?
Yep.
So you guys do a good job at not, you commit to the topic, but you could easily make anyone enjoy.
well,
Thanks.
So
Appreciate
it's
it.
Really good
knowledge,
job.
right? At the end of the day, this is
knowledge,
knowledge.
that's it. And yeah, it's a bit like I think what we have going for us as well. So
Yes, the same way you guys
Yeah,
eat,
exactly.
sleep,
That's
and
it. Like-
breathe music.
And now that
Yeah.
we're starting to do more guests, we don't want it only to be about cars, but we want it to be based on cars. Like music, I can go on for another hour about
Yeah,
hip hop.
for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
we could be here all night.
Like, yeah,
We got
We all
you
know
guys
it.
on ours.
That's
for
it.
sure.
So we'd like to touch upon other things, or like what other people are doing, and especially other people that are in
yeah,
our city, right? So basically, right, like you guys, an all-time podcast. They have their own podcast from Montreal. I'd like to also say to you guys, thank you, because you gave me that little oomph to start doing this.
man.
Really?
Well,
Wow.
I always
Yeah,
wanted
true.
to do it with him, just like we said at the beginning, right? We're going back to the beginning. We always said we should do it. We should do it. It's not hard. You guys know it's not. It's not easy. I mean, it's not hard. It's not easy, right?
It's not.
You guys know there's a lot of shit even behind the scenes, like you said. Just Steve, it must help you a ton that he knows the shit inside out.
If I had to do a podcast by myself and figure out what
It's
he fucking
insane by
figures
yourself.
out,
I wouldn't be
I
able
would
to.
probably be dead of
Like-
stress.
Like you were saying before, he has his forties with things that I rely on him for.
yeah,
Like Instagram and stuff, he posts very well, or he'll write something better than I would
Fuck,
write
I
something.
can't write.
I
He
could
writes
write, but
everything.
he'll write better than me. So make him write. He'll send it to me. I'm editing. You
Yeah.
know, we all work together. But you guys did give me that push to go saying, you know what? My guys that I went to school with,
That's cool.
guys that I've been friends with, you know what I mean, could do
Yeah.
it. Why can't we just do it?
It's,
Right? So I
that's cool. That's
honestly would like
you
to
guys
say
are
thank you
killing
for
it, so-
that.
Well, it goes back to
thank
what you guys were saying last time, that you guys talk about it anyways,
that's it.
like off air. I'm not saying like during the podcast.
Yeah.
So why not just record?
Yeah.
Like we're just doing. Like we just spoke for the last 2
And
hours. Like just
That's it.
And the guest thing for us is just we like to speak to different people, have different
Yeah.
guys here, and promote what they're doing, because it's, like we said, it's hard for us. Why can't we help? They help us. At the beginning, how many times did I tell you I spoke to Steve how to set something up?
yeah, we're lost at the beginning. We don't know shit.
I know
It's
a
tricky,
bit
it's
about
tricky.
audio, this
Yeah.
and that, but Steve had my back for so many times. I had Steve there every time. Even now, let's see this thing here that I had to buy. I asked you before, even if I read reviews and I did so much research on it, I still asked you because
Yeah,
that's
it's
your
true.
domain,
It's
right?
really-
That's your
really tricky,
your
yeah.
thing. So what I like about the podcast community is that everyone helps each
It's-
other,
Yeah.
and it's a very
Yep.
you know that's I just wanted to say that you guys helped us with
Thank you, appreciate
going, and we always listen to you. And
All the time.
Thank you, and we'll.
so just to help you guys, there's season 3 coming out, right?
Yeah. I have
Give
to
us
talk
give
about
us
this.
a give us.
Come on,
You're
Steve.
pointing at Steve tonight.
You're better at planning.
We have ideas in the works.
Yeah.
We don't know when we're gonna kick it off, but we're gonna go with something a bit more free flowing. So we committed to in season 1, just if people are skipping through the episode. In season 1, we did the best hip hop albums of all time, the top 100, 10 episodes, 10 albums per episode. 10 episodes, you're done, right? Season 2, we did a year per thing. Now for season 3. In the best of the decade review, season 3, we're gonna go free flow. So we're gonna give more stories on like our experience working in the industry, the way we enjoy albums, a bit like we did here.
So like exactly what I was
What
gonna say, like what we're doing
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna go
Yeah.
a bit more free flowing because
But also, if like a big album comes out or something we need to touch upon, it'll
Yeah,
be
that's
easier
it.
to like it won't
Yeah,
be
you won't
based
have to
on
be-
one thing.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
We did the same thing. We found that if we always had like subjects or categories that we always had to do, like next week we're gonna do this.
yeah,
But then something else came out, like you said, like a new album or something, you can't really talk about it
That's
because
it.
you're doing a subject
it's
on
super
that,
challenging
right?
too because we release on the Thursday, the new albums come out on Friday.
True, that
So
too.
by the time next
Yes.
Thursday's coming, you're gearing up for what's coming out the day
It's
after.
a week old already.
That's it. So it's kind of hard. And maybe this way we'll be able to
So that's what we'll expect for season 3 is more of a
more free
fall,
flowing,
free,
more
okay.
yeah.
more open, more
That's,
different. Okay, nice, nice.
Coming soon.
Less schedule, less planning involved, less
And is it gonna be a season or it's gonna be just?
we're gonna probably do a chunk of 10 episodes. Just
Yeah, I like
yapping.
that. We like that. So
Yeah,
it
it gives
gives
you a
us
break in between, yeah.
I know it's crazy just to get everyone.
Yeah.
We're gonna, and you're only 2, right? Now,
Yeah.
just to get us all 4 of us together here.
Took a couple
time.
weeks.
But this was
tough,
this was
yeah.
good. We set a date like the first
Yeah.
time it didn't work,
Yeah.
and now it worked, and we're fucking rolling, and I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. So that was season 3. Now, do you have any other questions for their podcast? Just before I give them the last.
I do have one question. You guys mentioned it before, and you guys don't really talk about it in your podcast, and I'm curious to know why. House music, EDM.
Can I answer this one?
Yeah, shoot.
I
I
was
have
waiting.
no fucking idea about.
You don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it because I think there's some hip hop artists that touched on some of those sounds or have used like
Yeah.
an influence from that. Well, Danny Brown at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was all
Danny
Detroit
Brown,
EDM. Yeah,
Yeah.
What he was
Yeah, it's
doing.
true.
And there's also a scene in Washington that touches on that music too. There's a bunch of areas and some hip hop artists have touched on it. I can't name you all of them right now, but like Danny Brown was one of them. But I don't know what to talk about. You know what I mean? Like I don't know artists. I don't know where to go listen
Yeah.
to and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Me too.
I'm a bit on the same page with that. In that, like,
It's a different world.
I
too,
never,
right?
I never connected with it. I never had much of an affiliation to it. I like electronic artists,
Yeah.
but a lot of them are more like like lo-fi or like
Okay.
softer,
chill house.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even. That's the thing. Even of the artists I like, to me, it's all electronic. If you
Yeah.
ever talk to me about like a certain type of hip hop or a punk or an indie or whatever, I'll say, yeah, this is more that, that's more that. But that handful of electronic artists that I like, I kind of just put them in their electronic, and there's so
Same.
many subgenres.
Like deep
in there.
house and house.
I wouldn't
and
even
all
know
that
they
stuff.
are.
I got you.
I wouldn't
all
even
in
know
the
they
same
are.
basket.
All in the same.
Nah.
The
Yeah.
same thing.
It's all
I know
EDM.
deep house, like slow, whatever it's
Progressive.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And I feel like most of the electronic artists I like just fall under the indie category anyway.
Yeah.
Like if I were to say James Blake,
Okay.
Not sure.
he's not some so he's worked with Travis Scott too. Like
Yeah.
he's sort of pierced out of that
Yeah.
kind of indie world, but that's about as electronic as it gets. That type of artist, it's not.
Okay.
Well, look at LP and the way he makes his
Yeah.
music and all his stuff earlier before he started with Run the Jewels and stuff. That sound was very electronic, and he was using so much different sounds from different genres of music. He used to do scores for movie soundtracks and stuff like that, and it's just his music expanded, but he was using a bunch of that stuff. But again, to me, it's the same category, electronic and
Yeah,
all that
I got
stuff.
you.
And I don't want to shit on that genre, but we haven't dug deep into it to know more about it.
Do you think you'll do it in the next season?
You never know. We never know what could happen. To be honest, I
I don't
know
think
what
for
could
me
happen.
because I don't listen to enough of it. I'll be fair in saying that it's probably a genre I don't connect with as much.
But you
Maybe.
never know about
I do own
comes
one
out.
Calvin
Yeah.
Harris album, if that counts.
That counts. All
But
right.
it was the one where he
That
stemmed
counts.
away from.
Easy DM.
Yeah.
But he's more. Honestly, I'm not even
House.
sure.
He's
He's house. But
And the one album
more like
I own
summer
is not
anthem
even
type
that
of.
But you
music.
never know what can come out. You attracted to that album,
because of the Migos song.
but again, it's an artist.
That's the
you could-
best Migos song, by the way,
and you could actually
Song.
talk
Listen to
about
Calvin
it.
Harris.
with Frank Ocean.
Yeah. You love Frank Ocean.
That song alone made me buy the album.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
Okay. So we do something to all our guests at the end of every episode, okay? We do a top 5 car garage.
Oh, Corvette. of
Dream.
course.
Dream car garage, basically, that we ask all our guests. You guys, once again, we try to make it based on what you guys are
Well, you guys are
known
nice.
for, right? So top 5 albums that have cars or like something to do with a car. Which ones do you guys choose as your top 5 of all time?
Am I going first again?
I'll go first.
Go first.
I'll go first because I feel like my albums maybe aren't as interesting.
So did you guys go with album art or just, let's say, lyrically?
I went a bit of both.
Bit of both? Okay.
Yeah. I go first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go.
So Steven
So,
won.
Steven won. First album, I put them in alpha order. I didn't put them in favorite.
Yeah.
To I have the Arcade Fire, The Suburbs.
Okay.
So what they did on that album, where this episode is going to be quite long. What they did for that album cover was they had a '79 Mercedes, a 280 SE. Does that say anything?
Yeah, 280 yeah.
So what they did was they
yeah.
parked it in front of a backdrop, and they had a backdrop of different suburban,
Of a house.
let's say. So what they did was they created a chase for the fans. They created 8 or 9 different album covers with different backdrops, but the
Okay.
same car parked in front of it.
Okay, I see.
The idea was to drive the car around and take pictures, but that's what came out of it.
Okay.
Second album, the Beatles' Abbey Road.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, simple as it is, they're crossing the road, and you got a bunch of
Yeah, you
cleverly
have
parked
those
Beatles
British,
in the area, right?
It's true, yeah, there's the Beetle on the left side.
On the white Beetle, yeah.
And on the right hand side, it's
some-
all the typical British cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an iconic, very iconic.
The third album I picked was by a band called The Cars. Simple
Oh,
as
yeah?
that. The album title is The Cars. It's Rick Ocasek, who's a legendary songwriter. He
The one
produced
with the lady in the front there?
the first album.
Okay.
So that's just I picked it because it's The Cars, right? So
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
that's what it is.
That's cool. I would've
For
known
people who care, that's the guy that produced early Weezer stuff. He pushed Weezer into yeah. So if you were to listen to their early stuff from the 70s, you'd freak out at the resemblance of Weezer back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
4, I have Jay-Z's Volume 2, Hard Knock Life.
And I figured you were
The 97 Bentley Azura.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. That's right.
And the last album I picked was Minutemen, Double Nickels on the Dime, which is a perfect punk album. The picture's taken from inside a car. So Mike Watt, the bass player of the band, is driving the car. The picture's taken in the back seat.
And you see him in the
Yeah,
mirror.
And you
in
see him in the
front.
review. That's what I got. Yeah. And for people who want to know what Minutemen is, it's the theme song for Jackass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually
He's
a song.
smart,
Yeah.
huh?
Shit, all right, all right. I learned something new today.
Yeah.
Shit, all right.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. That's different. Okay, Steve 2.
Okay, well, I obviously picked only rap albums, but I can't tell you what the cars are on it. So
We'll tell you.
What did we say off the air? You told me to ask you now. Kendrick Lamar's the minivan.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not on my list.
Why not? Because we
Because
all know that you're a
everybody knows
Kendrick
about
Lamar fan.
No, I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, not hugger if I could add. But I wanted to go with albums that people might not know. Well,
Or
not
not
the
thought
full
of, or-
list, but everybody knows about that Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
album cover. It's classic,
Yeah,
right?
iconic.
And it's not really his album cover; it's the deluxe version.
Exactly, yeah.
So
true.
So that
The
as
real
well.
album cover is the one with the family at the table.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but everybody knows it, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to go with it.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
I'm gonna tell you the album names, and you're gonna tell me what's on it.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
tell you the car.
My first one. It's also I picked these because the way they look.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is Juvenile Soldier Rags, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a Hummer.
Soldier Rags. Yeah, it's a Hummer. H1 Hummer. So the first generation Hummers, which is the old.
The army one too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's sick, huh?
Yeah, it's
I
dope.
would fucking love
That's a
to
cool
drive
cover.
that.
That's
You
like
ever
a
seen one
pure
of those?
90s.
In real life?
Yeah.
Never.
Yo, you can't even
real?
get that shit on the street.
Really?
It's wide as
huge.
fuck.
It's huge. You're like,
I think it's like 8 feet wide.
yeah, it's like 2 cars wide. Like
Yeah,
if you're driving
it's
in one
huge.
lane, you're like taking up almost.
Well,
You sit inside the driver's
whole
seat.
lane, yeah.
The passenger side, it's like an arm length away.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then
Really?
the passenger is there.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
And these, well, he's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
So they were driving a lot of this on the streets in New Orleans. And when they did their music videos.
Juvenile that used to be with
Cash Money.
Soldier Boy.
No,
the one who
Juvenile.
died.
Soulja Slim.
Soulja Slim, right?
Juvenile did a song with Soulja
Right.
Slim. But
I like it like that.
Yeah. Juvenile is actually part of the Hot Boys with Lil Wayne.
Okay, yeah, the before with Manny
BG,
Fresh and all that.
Manny Fresh, all the Cash Money records.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Number 2, BG, Chopper City in the Ghetto.
Chopper City and
I like it that I say it and then you guys tell me which car is on
Rolls
it.
Royce, I
okay.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Is
see
it?
you see
Rolls
those,
Royce,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the way those 2 album covers kind of look the same, the way they were made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely used paint to make the album cover.
Microsoft.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. I like that.
For sure.
Number 3, Action Bronson, Rare Chandeliers.
Yes. That's a
But it was cool because it's not the full album cover of that.
what is it?
BMW on it.
Yes, it has an old school BMW. Yes, okay, that's it. It has the old school BMW you're talking about,
Yeah.
the white one.
The 5
Yeah.
Series.
Yo, I love Action Bronson.
Yeah.
I love Action Bronson. Even his shows. I don't know if you guys watch. Is Fuck That's Delicious and all
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
crazy.
He's
But
hilarious.
Speaking of Action Bronson, he has an album actually called Sab Stories.
Okay. Oh yeah, Saab like SAAB.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go look at the album cover. That has nothing to do with cars.
That has a good track with Wiz Khalifa if you're into it.
Yeah,
I'll
The
take a
Rockers.
listen. The Rockers?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite Action Bronson songs that we actually missed when we went to see him.
Okay, what the hell? It's just. It's the album
But
cover.
it's called Sab
Oh,
Stories.
one girl bent
Cars
over
and
another
that
girl.
girl.
In
Is
the,
that how you pronounce it? Sab?
Sabia.
Saab, yeah.
S-A-A-B.
Where them they say, I think they say sob
Yeah.
with their accent there. Anyway. Okay. Next.
Clips, Lord Willing. Which Pusha T was in Clips.
Lincoln Continental.
Oh yeah. Oh
Suicide
my god,
Doors.
I love that year. That's the first year of the Lincoln Continental. Okay, first year of Lincoln Continental. Is that the car that JFK got shot in? Yes, it is. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. And it's also the car from Entourage.
So basically, the car. Yeah.
Wow.
The car
Wow.
car door doesn't open like our doors. They open like this. They open this way.
Like a Rolls Royce.
Really?
Super cool. Back in the day, right? I think it's a 59 or 69, something like that.
Jesus
60s.
Christ. And they're from Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like that was 4, right?
Yeah, there's
and I'm
one
gonna go
more.
with Currency, the drive-in theater.
Drive-in theater. See that one I don't know at all. Oh shit. Okay, so one Impala. Is it 2 Impalas? Did you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Spitta and Andretti.
Bel Air on the right.
A Bel Air on the right.
65
and,
Impala on the left.
Yeah. Spitta and Andretti.
Yeah, 65 Impala.
Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's my last one, but since we're on a car podcast,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there is a very important song that everybody needs to go listen to.
Shoot.
My
Okay.
Lambo's blue.
That's a fucking that's that Young Jeezy song is
Yeah.
good.
My president's black. My Lambo's blue.
Yeah.
What's the song?
UGK,
Okay. Yeah.
fuck my car.
UGK?
Yeah. Fuck
think I've
my
heard
car.
this.
You have
Isn't
had
it
to
like-
have heard this.
He's trash talk. Is he trash talking about his
No,
car?
no, no.
No,
Okay,
he's
so
actually
it's not good.
saying that girls don't want to fuck him; they want to fuck his car. So basically, it's saying that
Oh,
girls are
yeah.
not into him; they're into his car.
car.
So that's why they fuck him.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Alright.
we're on a car podcast, so I need to throw that in.
Yeah.
Take a listen. I'll take a listen.
Yeah,
I'll take a
it's
listen. Honestly, you guys have opened me up to new music all the time. Every time I listen to you guys' podcast, just for example, Mad Villain,
Yes.
Accordion, the song. I never heard it before. You guys introduced me to that. I'm obsessed. I find that song's amazing.
listen to the full album though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've listened to the
it's
full, but that
incredible.
song is just, I don't know, it just it resonates
If ever you
with me.
find the full albums too much, there's an instrumental version you could get easy.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's even on Spotify if you just want to
Okay.
have the background shit.
But that's it. So, like, just to wrap it up, guys, go see the all-time podcast. You guys are where on? You guys are just on Instagram, or
We're on Instagram.
where could they find you? Plug it in.
We're on Instagram.
What is
Pretty
it?
much
At
ends
all
there.
time pod.
At all time pod. Yeah, we post. We promote the episodes as much as we can
Yeah.
weekly.
And to hear you guys, it's on all the platforms. Or it's
pretty
like
much on everything.
they're on
Spotify,
Anchor, like
Apple,
us,
wherever
so-
you can get. Yeah, wherever you listen,
can
you're
get it.
pretty
And
safe.
it's all at all-time.
At all time pod. Yeah.
Free of charge.
Yeah.
No
Apple
ads,
Music,
no-
Spotify.
Guys, go listen to them, follow them, share it, help them out like they help us out. Please do what we can. And guys, I guess that's the end of the episode.
No,
It has
thank
been,
you. How long?
oh my God, an hour 53 minutes.
Man,
All right.
before
You
we
said
stop,
2 hours before
yeah.
this.
Before we stop, I really want to thank you guys. This is a
Yeah, this
fucking
means a lot. Let's
incredible
go.
opportunity that you guys did.
Thanks,
I
man.
felt amazing. I felt like I was getting interviewed.
Well, that's it. Hopefully, you guys will come the next time. The next time will be more just shooting the shit and just talking.
This
I'd
is
love to,
fantastic.
man.
We want to
Anytime.
have you
Like
guys
boys,
with
like,
us.
you know, like-
if you
Yeah.
figure out that shit with the mics and shit,
Well, Bar West thing.
yeah, you guys come.
Okay.
You guys
No problem.
come with us, and we
You guys
can
tell
do
us the
something.
day and we'll be there.
100%.
And
Done.
we can ask you guys questions and shit.
It'll be different for us because we're always
Yeah.
asking
This is
the
amazing.
questions.
This was honestly
A
incredible.
lot of fun, guys.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for
So
coming,
follow
guys.
us, Joe. Where did he
The
follow us
Fula
at?
Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, now Twitter. So
True.
take a look
Just
at
open the
Twitter. Anchor, Spotify, it's all there.
Apple
Apple
Podcast, Android, wherever.
Oh yeah,
Google,
all the
that
same
shit.
as
We have all the
all
same
the same
stuff.
as us. It's the same thing.
It's all the same handle.
So when you listen to us, usually we come out 1 or 2 days apart. Listen to the other guy,
Fair enough.
right?
Fair enough.
Okay. So guys, once again, thank you for doing the
Thank
podcast,
you,
and
guys.
it was good.
Thank you guys. You guys are
Appreciate
fucking
it.
awesome.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.